morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're all good. I hope you are all well. It is still July the 4th here in North America, so happy American Independence Day to you all. A day that makes me feel very, very, very old, because today, 34 years ago, I got bar mitzvahed. So, very, very long time ago. But the good thing is, England won the World Cup on my dad's bar mitzvah day. And let's just hope the stars can align that we do that. But I hope everyone is absolutely brilliant. Let's go with some housekeeping first, shall we? First of all, apologies. There was no Late Night Lilywhite last week. These shifts are absolute. I love my job. My job is fantastic. But working at 11:30 p.m. to 7:30 in the morning, come the weekend, I am bloody exhausted at times. But today was the last day of training. We've all graduated. I go into my team leader training now. Life is good. And now my shift changes. It's not just Saturday and Sundays off. So in a good way, it's good news for you guys, because you're going to be getting a Late Night Lilywhite once midweek and one weekend day. So starting this Thursday, there will be a Late Night Lilywhite. So very much looking forward to that. I hope everyone's good. I think the last time we did this, Tonali had just become a thing. Fernandez was on the go, or rumoured. Well, Fernandez is in. Tonali is in. It just hasn't been announced. And England have been shambolic. Spurs are still spending. Spurs, I believe, will keep spending. And just like Roberto De Zerbi is driving this summer's transfer window, I have my second coffee. I have an iced coffee that I forgot to take to work yesterday that I'm having today, should it be needed. We're going to have a great show. I may bring guests on later on. There's a very good chance, in fact. But always, this is the show I love doing. It's all about you guys, and we're going to get on with the show. I will say, before we get going, obviously, there is a lot of stuff going on at the moment with Tottenham Hotspur. There's a lot of stuff going on with rival fans getting absolutely livid and being embarrassing and pathetic about what Tottenham Hotspur are doing, which I love. Our fan base is in a meltdown for spending money. This is you can't make this stuff up. But I think people would have seen me during the week and during the window. Actually, I have been the place of Zen. I have opened up an official house of Zen because I am so chilled. And I will say I'm delighted with what's going on. I'm sure we might get people in the chat that want to discuss whether they believe this is ENIC for good. This is just a flash in the pan, and we'll deal with it. And I've got a great analogy to use, because when we are Tottenham TV and was very, very happy and giddy and passionate, and it's incredible what difference having a job and some self-esteem, some self-worth, and some happiness can do for your overall mood and mental health. Who'd have thought it? Who would have thought it? But let's start with the show. First of all, big up to my brother over in the States, Mr. Curly Norman. Happy. Oh, and Canada out of the World Cup on Independence Day for the States. Canada did well. Morocco was just too good in the end, and we paid for our missed chances. But happy Independence Day to you, brother. Eric, Tottenham fan, 20 minutes left. We're live now, brother, but always you're here, so great to see you. Exactly. Good evening, Adrian. Good evening. Is that it again? Damn right. That thing will never change. If someone asked me to be artistic, I would say if I can paint a matchstick man, you could call that a Van Gogh by my Van Gogh by my standards. So yeah, we'll be sticking with AI. Big up, JPax. I hope you're good and well. Big up, brother. Big up. Look who's here, Mr. Cookie. Mr. Cookie, how are you, sir? I have to say, I was watching Danalis, and Dan, thanks for bringing people over, brother. I watched the beginning of the show. I was going to come on, but I was exhausted. I hadn't slept since I finished work at 7:30. And what time did you go live? 5:15, my time. So I'd been awake since 9 p.m. It's working overnight. It's really Friday night, 9 o'clock. I've been up until watching that show, and I was loving the show. Fell asleep. When I fell asleep, it was all, yep, I'm looking forward to it. Yes, they're going to have to earn my trust. They're going to do this, but it's been a long time since they've done this, or they haven't done this. And then I woke up to absolute, I don't trust them. I don't believe them. I get it all. I get it all. And I love Cookie and the Two Mark show dearly. Absolutely dearly. People might not have heard, I hardly watch anything anymore. I hardly watch any Spurs content anymore. Sorry, it is sweltering here. I just don't have the time when I'm with this work thing. And I'm trying it. Ilana starts a new job on Monday. She's working 10 till 6 Monday to Friday. I'm working 11:30 to 7 a.m. or 7:30 a.m. And I'll be asleep when she gets home at 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. So I'm going to see my wife for about an hour a day during the week, if that, which is madness. So I'm trying to do as much as I can with the little time that I have, but love watching all the content that I do. And the Two Marks is definitely one to watch. Dennis Rain, thank you, Marianne. I hope you're good and well. Owen, big up, geezer. Mate, do you know what? I am fantastic. It's been a long time since I can say that honestly, and for a sustained period. I am absolutely magnificent, and I hope you and the family are as well, buddy. Who else we got in here? Colonies, but Jesus. Big up, Ludsworth, big up to you, geez. I haven't seen you back for a bit. I hope you're good and well, and big up, Teddy. Big up, Teddy. How is everyone? We're going to have to address the Enoch and summer window elephant in the room. Or would you say it's a herd of elephants with what's been going on? But we'll discuss it. Aussie Coys, big up to you, geezer. Big up to you. And Curly obviously saying to his fellow Americans, which is, I'm sure loads of people, Curly is spending his American Independence Day with me, with Tottenham on tour, with you guys. And to all the Americans, thank you. Thank you. As if to everyone else. Cheers, buddy. Cheers, buddy. Brandon, bro, do you know what? I might refer back to what I said on We Are Tottenham TV a couple of days ago. If people haven't seen it, they've clipped it as well. Remember when I had to put out that long message the day after Frank resigned, sacked. I had to take a break because I was on the mental health verge of a massive breakdown and emotional and whatever. I was like, I just can't do this. I cannot do this anymore. And I was going to break to Enoch. Sold. Then when she would have left and the club were in disarray, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm missing it. But I learned a hell of a lot about myself and what triggers me, how I come across, and loads of stuff. And right here, right now, I'm loving streaming again, whether it be here or the channels I go on. I am loving talking about Spurs on social media. And I am just in such a good place that life is good. When you can put a smile on your face all day, life is good. Oh, Ozzy, the meltdown. I'm trying to work out if the meltdown from the fans from other teams, especially Newcastle's, your Villas, your Shearers, your Gabby Bonglahors, and everything else, is more funnier and ridiculous than some of the Spurs fans' meltdowns. And I don't mean YouTubers, I mean people on Twitter, what you see of them. It is absolute madness. It is absolute insanity. I mean, Gabby Christenmore, as I'm now calling him, it's not fair. That was a really poor Brummie accent, so I do apologise to any Brummies that might be in the chat. But I'm trying to work out what is funnier at the moment because it's just insane. We've got people, the other fans from other teams, and before I forget it, to show you know how bad it is when Rory Jennings of Chelsea fame, as in fame, YouTubing and TalkSport, is actually worried with all the slamming he does of Spurs. He is petrified, and I mean genuinely petrified, that this could be big trouble. Then you got Mark Goldbridge with the best buzzword bingo quote ever, and I quote with Fernandes, I am as concerned about Tottenham signing Fernandes as I am a butterfly starting a fight with a Rottweiler and winning. And he also did the dog and the lion, and he got slammed for it. So I'm trying to work out if that's funnier or us fans. And when I say us, I'm not singling out anyone. The meltdown on Twitter is madness. Is madness. And when I'm the positive one, then I think we might have a problem. We might have a problem, but I'm enjoying the ride. Mate, looking forward to it. Mate, I love this show, Teddy, as you know. And people that have been regulars from the get-go and concept of this show, of all the shows I do, this is the one that I adore the most. Whether we have 2 people in, 7 people in, 27 people in, you might see the numbers, or the 72 we currently have. This show is all about you guys, me just coffeed up talking, and I just love it. So it's great to do it from this perspective, and I've already I've registered my interest and made a concrete bid to have deadline day off so I can do another classic late night transfer day bonanza. And hopefully on one of my days off, we might just have a Xavi Simons moment, and then we know what's going to happen. I don't know, Danny, I don't know if I have, bro. I don't know if I have. There's so many of them to call. I don't know which one to start with, but my God. Has everyone seen, very quickly, I'll just say, I'm going to start the comment for the first time. Has everyone seen on social media or via WhatsApp those new, or that funny, statement that someone's drafted up about Spurs and their signings, or the Tonali deal? Has everyone seen that? Has everyone seen that post? Let me know if you have. If not, I'm going to bring it up. And I've seen 2 people that are just at the bottom. 3 that I have to, 4 that I have, 5. For Jesus Christ. 5 that I have to say hello to. So, Stuart, big up to you, brother. Big up to you, Tottenham on Tour member and a very dear friend of mine. Sonny, big up to you. This spot, man, Zed, I'm going to have to say, I love your dad. I love your dad. Your dad is one of the nicest, kindest men. Cross Amano, he's definitely been in some this week, but he hasn't been as... No, I'm sure he has. The last one we did one on Friday. We did one Friday morning. Can I remember seeing him? No, but the one for the day of the England... Yes, he was. He has been in a few, buddy. I hope everything's okay with a message like that, but he has been. Is he okay? Zed, what I'm going to do, I've got no problem doing it again. I get concerned because your dad means a great, great deal to me. Let me just... I've just put my personal email in there, buddy. Send me an email, please, buddy. because if something's wrong or you need to talk or whatever, I love your father, so reach out to me, buddy. El Saeed, big up, brother. And Spurs, I'm going to go back to the beginning in a minute, and we'll start. I won't be missing anyone else. Big up, Spurs, Patriots. Gibbs White, I'm still heartbroken. But, mate, listen, overpaying, as Paratici said, you'd rather pay over the odds to get the actual player, your manager, to get the player your manager wants, rather than keep going cheap, keep going young, keep going lacking of quality, and end up paying for it. But I just want to see if people have seen the statement. I will see. Not a lot of people have said yes, they have. So I'm going to bring it up. We'll have our first share screen, and I've just seen. If it's Phil. I haven't spoken to Phil for ages. Big up to you, brother. Let me find Oh, Mike Pellegrini's in the chat. You've seen the statement. I'm going to bring it up. When I started reading it, I absolutely started shitting myself, thinking that something was going. I genuinely thought this was legit. Right. Let's have our first share, and then I'll go back to the top, and we'll carry on with the show, people. WhatsApp. Here we go. So let me just zoom in. Right. This isn't legit, but the way they did it, it says club statement. Tottenham Hotspur can confirm there has been a short delay in the official announcement of Sandro Tonali. Due to the club's extremely ambitious spending this summer, we have been advised that permission must first be requested from Aston Villa and Newcastle United before completing any further business. Both clubs have raised concerns that Tottenham continue to operate like a serious football club could cause distress to rival fan bases and create an unnecessary debate about PSR. We thank supporters for their patience while Villa check the spreadsheets and Newcastle finish crying into theirs. Further updates will follow once approval has been granted. I don't know who made that up, but it is absolutely hysterical. Whatever you want to say about what's going on, that is bloody hysterical. And I do mean hysterical. But now we go back to the top, and we'll start where we were. So that's where we were. Let me unstar it because I know where we are. And I'm going to send that statement out to all of them. If anyone watched Michael McIntyre back home, that sent to all. I'm currently doing that to all Newcastle and Villa fans. Callum, big up to you, brother. Oh, I forgot to put my Friday tweet out. I've survived another week of Alfie Devine still being a Spurs player. Come on. I think he's going out on loan. He should go out on loan. I love that boy dearly, or man, shall we say. But if he needs to be sold, he needs to be sold. I've always said it. It'll break my heart. But I joke about it every week because when I first started my job, there was a tweet that Cowling broke that Preston have activated the loan up by buy option, and he's still with us. So come on, Alfie. Who do you think is going to? Do you know what? We're going to star this again. And I'm going to go to the bottom. Who does everyone think is going to? There's been so many funny ones. There's been so many jokey ones. There's been so many serious ones. My bet, if you look at Italians that have played for Spurs, we're not blessed. It's Carlo Cudicini. Wait, let's do it the other way around. Paolo Travanese, Destiny Udogie, Vicario, but I think Vicario might drop the phone. Carlo Cudicini, or my name is Nicola Berti. I'm aged around 30. I play for a team in Milan, Inter, When I walk down the street, all the people I meet, they say, "Oi, gorgeous, what's your name?" That is one of the best chants ever. But I went, my punt is Mr. Dembele. I know they are trying to do the country to country, but like a couple of people, I don't think it would be Shearer Aussie Spurs, but I do think it may be a Newcastle connection. And we've got Gaza, we've got Waddle. Oh, I forgot. How could I possibly forget? How could I possibly forget the goalkeeper? These are the funny ones. Could be Sissoko. It could be Sissoko. Someone said earlier to me today, and it could well be, said it could be Luka Modric with the AC Milan connection. Someone has said to be Chirpy. Some people have said, I'd love it to be Campbell. Some people said they'd love, when we're mentioning Italians, could you imagine Antonio Conte? Antonio Conte would be box office. But for the biggest wow factor, I would... let's Ferdinand Stewart. That's a great shout. But what was I going to say? Oh, fuck, who was I going to say? Who was I going to... Oh, yeah. When we're talking about Conte, could you imagine if it was Martin Jol for the win? This window of all windows. This window of all windows. Oh, could you imagine? Well, we could do it. We could pretend that a text has come through saying Spurs have had their pants pulled down and Tonali just going nuts. But this, honestly, there are so many that it could... Oh, I forgot. Bloody hell, Lewis. Big up to you, brother. Big up to Jermaine Genius. And then someone said, listen, I don't even care if it's bloody Chirpy. We don't care who it is, but has anyone seen the picture of Tonali? I might have a bit of a... I don't know if it's done the rounds of Twitter because I've been asleep. But, sorry, let's show it. Let's show it, shall we? I don't know if it's made it. I haven't seen it shared around everywhere. So just to give people a little bit of faith that this is going to go through. I don't know if anyone is going to think, oh no, this is collapsing, what's the hold up or anything. I don't know if people have seen this. I don't know if it is doing the rounds on Twitter, but I got sent it. Let's zoom in again. So I don't know if it's this part of the release video. I don't know if people have seen that. It is all darked out. So don't say, if you can't see it properly, that is Tonali. That is him holding the number 6 shirt. And that is him, by the looks of it, with what I can see at the Spurs training, either the Spurs training ground or in the Spurs home dressing room. It's all done. It's all good. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is, Lynn. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. But I do know it's done. That's one thing I will say. I do know that he will be announced very, very soon. I think we all know it. He's been in the training ground since Friday. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. How are you all feeling about it? Oh, mate, that Mike, brother. And you know what? His statement. What? 1 second. The sheer class from that man for that statement. And I love Paulinho. Love him. I honestly would say, and I don't mean this in a bad way or anything, if we still had Levy in the way we were going through things, he would be here over Tonali, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But he's not here. Things are good, as in Levy. And we now have Fernandes and Paulinho, which I'm very, 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 very happy about. Where are we? Let's go back to the Let's go back to where we were. Let's get rid of the comment ad start. There we go. I don't know how far I'm behind, but there's 100. No, there's 87 of you in here now. Big up, Rolly. Big up, guy. There he is, Michael Hellman. 5.5 players in, and us fans are no big up, Michael. it's crazy. Spurs Twitter, my God, it's sweltering here. I don't know where it is, how it is where you are, but it is sweltering here, and I'm in a room that hasn't got air conditioning, just a fan at the top. It's hot. It's hot, but yeah, look, I am so happy with what's going on. I am so happy. But it's going to take time for people to really trust, believe, and whatever. I still don't trust them. But what? Right, I'm going to use my analogy because I kind of walked into it. But I'll start by what they have done right now this summer for me is exceptional. The way they've attacked the market, the way they've been ruthless in these players. They haven't stopped. They're sorting our house out. Obviously, we lost Vuskovic, which we could talk about as well, which I think is great business. Bergvall, we could talk about that. But I've seen so many people, and rightfully so. Listen, I've decided to go through my house of Zen and relaxed and chilled. And the only time I believe that the transfer has gone through or is genuine is if No Ornstein, No News tweets it. He is the GOAT. But I've heard a lot of people, and like I said, rightfully so, going, is this just a one-time window? Is this just because we finished 17th twice and they're buying from a place of weakness rather than strength, which I totally understand. And I kind of in that boat right now. But then there's let's see if we get into Europe or near to the Champions League. Let's see them go again, which is a very key indicator for me. But the only way, because there's been so many cross wires with people saying fake positivity, you're going too soon, we're getting excited again. This is PR, as in they're going to do this to shut people up. Everyone's going, we've wanted them to do it, we wanted to do them, now let's see if they do it. And then we've got the I don't believe it's happening, which you're every right to do. But if we want to see if this is the thing and it's not going to be a one-off, there has to be the one. It can't go, okay, they've never done it before. Here we go. They've done it 5 times in one window. You can't do it. And the only way I can kind of get my point across and try and nail the analogy is using a very, very personal kind of reference. There's no earth-shattering stuff. I'm very open about this. What's the date now? It's the 4th of July. 4th of July. In 24 days, I celebrate the biggest achievement, the best decision, the hardest journey, but the most rewarding journey I've ever been on, started on July the 28th, 2008, when I gave up drinking as a raging alcoholic. It will be 18 years. The July the 28th, the alcohol-free me can legally drink in the UK, which blows my mind at how mad it is. And the reason I'm using this analogy, and I hope people will leave comments, not saying congratulations, but saying you get what I'm trying to say via this analogy. My dad and I had a very, very, during my alcohol, drugs, mental, you supported the mental health, but my violence, anger, whatever days, me and my dad at times couldn't be in the same room for wanting to destroy each other or come into blows, whatever it may be. But when I gave up drinking, supportive, whatever, but I asked my dad a good few years later, like 8, 9, 10 years down the line, and I sat down, and me and my dad now have the best relationship. I actually call him my hero. In people, I don't call him dad when I'm rapping. His name is Hero. I said to him, how long did it take you to believe that alcohol isn't in my life anymore. It's gone. I won't, in times of turmoil, I won't turn to it. I won't have a little dip or whatever. And he goes, Brian, I'll be honest with you. It took me 2.5 years to actually believe that you had turned it around, that you're not going to drink again, that I can believe you, I can back you, I can. But that whole time, before I'd asked him that question, from when I gave up drinking, my dad might not have believed me. He might not have trusted me. He went to the extent of literally getting one of those UV lights where you check fake notes or anything and marking every single bottle of alcohol that he had and remarked it when he drank some or given some away, so you could see if either A, it had gone down, or B, if I poured anything into it to top it up, or like apple juice in the brandy or whatever it may be. He said it took me 2.5 years to believe you and trust you. But every single day of that 2.5 years, I was screaming inside, internally, go on, my son, go on. Try and change it. Try and prove that you're doing it. And that's, if you get what I'm trying to say, that's kind of where I am right now with this transfer window and this transfer fee spending splurge, because it has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere. And people that didn't believe me or trust me or whatever with drinking, they had to start believing me. They had to start saying, do you know what? Maybe he is trying to turn his life around. Maybe he is going to do this. But everyone believed me. Or sorry, they may not believe me, but they back me. And then I had to show them, I mean this, I'm doing this. And here we are, 24 days away from being 18 years clean. I hope Spurs and Enoch do this for the next 18 years. Wouldn't that be something? But I do think that's where I stand with it. By the way, we just got a super chat in from the ever-present Michael Hellman. Big up to you, buddy. I have no doubt this window will be 10 out of 10. Roberto De Zerbi is teaching Enoch some Latin. Mate, bang on. Bang on. 10 out of 10 window. If we compare this to previous ones right now, for incomings, it's a 10. Right now, for the quality. Yes, we need the front line majorly, the most important thing. And we're going to have 2 months to do it, or just under. But I honestly think that I honestly believe that we'll get that sorted. Outgoings will be something, but you know what? We used to joke that to dare is too dear, to dare is to whatever. Mate, I had a hit list of to dare is too dear, to dare is to do nothing, to dare is to whatever. So we can only hope and pray that this is them continuing it. But right now, you can't argue with what it's going to do. So I'm just going to bring up the steps. I just seen Hotspur say it. And I hope people understood the reference I was trying to get at. I wasn't trying. This is just how I see it. And maybe it's why I'm looking at things like this as I reflect on my journey, that, you know what, people didn't back me. And I gave them every single reason not to. I gave them every single reason to go, Brian, we've heard you. I tried to give up 3 or 4 times. The longest I could go was 2 weeks before I started putting J2O vodkas in my J2O or whatever. And it was to shut people up. What Enoch could be doing. But people stood by me, but even if they didn't believe me, and that's kind of where I was going with it. So let's see what people are saying about that. Then I'm going to go back to where we were. I believe that we've been playing, mate. Rafi Mawson, I'm going to start that, because when we get down to it, I want to talk about him. Mate, listen, if I can do it, brother, Sonny, if anyone can do it, I can do it. And if you follow me on social media and you ever want to chat about it or or going towards it, whatever, just send me a message, bro. And I'll be right there. Like I said, when I tried to give up, sorry to take it on this kind of side road, I used to go to the doctors or AA, and it was all not AA as in for the doctors were like, well, if you carry on drinking, your kidneys, your liver, your this, your that, your whatever, your health, your skin, jaundice, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I don't. That's. But then Alcoholics Anonymous didn't work for me, that kind of setting. But big up to everyone that has found that method helpful. I needed one-on-one or a different tactic. But the one that got me to stop when I went into rehab was a recovering alcoholic that had been walking in my shoes and had done it. So if you ever need help, brother, I will always pay it forward. I've always said it. Cheers, bro. Cheers. Yeah, mate, I think I'm creating my own steps. But it's a journey that I'm delighted to have gone on. And like I said, with the analogy, is that's where I am kind of with Enoch. I'm kind of in the background. Do I believe them? Do I trust them? No. Do I hope that they're going to do this constantly? Yes. And I think this is the analogy I'm going to use. Paul, big up to you, brother. I've weaned myself off weed over the past 2 years. That was almost 20 years ago. And mate, and I'll tell you what, the sense of achievement and the difference it makes you feel when you do give up, not only health-wise and family-wise, relationship-wise, work-wise, the self-achievement and the way you feel in yourself, it's incredible. Cheers, brother. Well, that's what I tried to do, Stuart. That's why I'm very, very open with my people. I will always, for the rest of my life, pay it forward. Always. Thank you very much indeed, Sonny. Thank you. There we go. Yep, exactly. This is just the thing. Like I said, I don't know if I've been trying to wrap my brains around it, because whenever I go onto a show or whenever I'm talking with someone, or if there's a big group in WhatsApp or whatever, people like myself who have been so openly against the board on every single level, when we now try and say, do you know what, this is kind of what I was protesting for in the first, or one of the pillars that I was protesting for in the first place. And then when we get here, we're like, well, now they're going, well, why are you buying into this? Why are you And they're right. Everyone's got their right. But I was just like racking my brains with how I can try and get across the way that I'm feeling about the club right now. And then I just realized it just stumbled into my head about the relevance of my dad mainly. That's, like I said, my dad's my hero. There's many people that doubted. Everyone doubted me. But he was the Daigle and I was the... I don't want to complete that sentence in this. So no, I was the people up top. And no one believed the people up top. And we are where we are now. 7 points. I remember you doing this last summer. 7.3. What would round it up to a nice 8? What's the 0.7 for you, Louis? What is the 0.7? Mate, Sonny, see, like I said, we'll get back to football, wherever I started that analogy. So I'm going to carry on going from where we are. I will try and make my way back up to the top, and we'll go there. I am going to put this here again. If anyone, and I do mean anyone, is suffering mental health, addiction, whether it be drink, alcohol, cocaine, drugs, whatever it may be, and you want to talk to, you want to hear my journey in a lot more detail, the tools that I use, ideas to make it easier, I'll quickly tell you the easiest tool I have, and I've done it for 18 years and I still do it to this day. Let's start from where we are right now, July the 4th. Right now, my target is to make it to 18 years of July the 28th, which when you say 24 days compared to the rest of your life, sounds a lot easier than, let's say, please God, 40 years. Let's just say. So what will I be? 87. And then once I hit July the 28th, every single year I say, let's just make it to the first day of the football season. Once I get there, I set another smaller target. Then another one, Halloween, which is my wife's birthday. Then Christmas Day, then New Year's Day, then Valentine's Day, then or what tools you want to set it at. And believe me, and I'm not just saying this, saying, oh, it's so easy when you do it like that. But when you say little short targets and say when you get there, you feel proud that you got there and happier. Same for me, even after 17 years and 28 days short of 18. I still to this day have to set myself many times. I've just got it in my brain. Just get to there. Because if someone said to me, I'm not going to have a drink for another 40 years, that sounds like, Jesus Christ, can I do that? It's a lot easier for me. But Sonny, I put my email there. Please reach out to me. I might not be able to help. I'll give you my number for WhatsApp, whatever. I might not be able to help. But at least you'll always know there is someone just a message away, a phone call away, bearing work and time zones. If you need anything, buddy, I'll be there. Thank you very much, Singularity. You've not drunk for 2 weeks with the winky face tug out emoji. I don't know if that's just because you haven't, or because you're trying to stop, or whatever. But yeah, thank you, mate. Gee, I forgot about that. And obviously we had Canada, mate. Going to work on Canada Day, which was July the 1st. I have about a 10-15 minute walk, which don't mind doing in the summer, to my bus stop to take to the station. And the fireworks were incredible. But they go and fight. It's normally me doing the fireworks. It's an 8.5. Big O Mako. It's an 8.5 out of 10. Top left winger and strike. Yeah, listen, we definitely need the left winger. The striker, to me, was the most important thing before the window, and it still remains the most important thing for me now. In case if we could get everything, but if you don't get the strikers to put the ball in the net, we're screwed. But I've got a super chat in from Ian Taylor. Big up to you, buddy. Well done, mate. I stopped drinking 35 years ago. And drinking 20. Well done, brother. Well done to you. I mean, again, we can intertwine these two kind of topics with Spurs and an addiction, which it is really. Let's face it, that's an addiction we won't beat. The impact it has on people's life. Like, thankfully, if I'd been drinking with my sister, still when my sister started having the kids, I wouldn't have been allowed near them. And Jesus Christ, I'll never, ever had risked that. So fair play to you. This is the next one. This is the next one to stop. But I keep putting it off, or my health and when I say mental health, whatever, and I need advice. I need advice, but now I've got my job. The plan is once I pass probation, which will be August, September, I'm going to start trying to wean myself off it. It will be the next one. But then after this, there's nothing. I might become incredibly boring. Oh, Jesus. Big up, Russell. Big up, brother. I hope you're good and well. I've never used that word, but that's quality. They haven't got. They have. Sorry, yeah. The whole we can spend like this because of Levy, which I get the commercial level, the this, the that, but he could have done what we're doing the whole time, but it was winning the negotiation. And I will say, the amount of time, even with Frank, I totally screwed up, totally got that wrong. But as I've been joking about recently, I'm actually the visionary, and everyone should thank me, because I knew it would go wrong. I knew we'd hire Tudor. I knew we'd get De Zerbi and this would happen. 6 degrees of separation done in 3. But all those people that were coming at people like myself going, oh, you wanted this, you asked for this, you got it now, look where we are. We wouldn't have been in this relegation battle without him. Well, all right. We wouldn't. We'd still be there because we were there the season before. Levy wouldn't spend blah, blah, blah. But also, how do you like us now? Not saying it's because of us. That's not what I'm saying. It's like you can't have it going the first year, oh, this wouldn't happen, blah, blah, blah. And now when this is happening. So I got into a very, very heated argument with someone at the Scotland Yard. Very, very heated. And the only reason it didn't go up levels was he was, I'd say he's not a senior citizen, but a lot senior to me. And I was like, hands behind back, whatever. And he went nuts going, this would never have happened. This is your fault, you and your life. And I was like, reeling off the stats with him, I'm very much looking forward to seeing him on the first day of the season. We do need to get rid of some players. We do desperately. If I had to say to you guys, the top 5 players you want out, and I don't mean just say Tell and Grey Blood, the ones that you realistically think we can get out, and not, mate. I did this yesterday because I was on a stream. I was on 2 Mark's show, and they were talking about Archie Gray. I am a fan of Archie Gray. I do think out of all the youngsters we have that are around the first team, he is the one that I think could reach his potential. But when I was talking about people like, oh, you got to get Gray out the door, it's not as easy as bringing in a player. You got to find the club's got to find the fee, blah, 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 blah. I sell Vicario, Dragosin, Bergval, Vuskovic has gone, so I'm not going to do it. Saar, Tell, Richarlison, Solanke. Who else was there? Odebear. Obviously, he's injured, so it's a bit harder. I could name probably a few more that I'd sell before Gray, but it's trying to get them out. Which is Romero. There's another one. Thank you very much indeed, Marianne, darling. Thank you very much indeed. Well, buddy, I put my email. Anyone wants to talk about it, we can go there. There's no problem. Am I the only one that thinks... Okay, Wobbles, do you know what? I think Solanke has been a huge, bitter disappointment. I really do. And then when you look at it, was the Kane money, or Richarlison and Solanke have been the replacements for the great, the legend, who, by the way, could you imagine as the biggest FU to Levy? This is delirious town. If that man walked through the door. If he walked through the door, and I even spoke to my little bro, Ryan Isaacs, I've pictured the perfect... If that... Let's just... Right, we're just going to go into cloud cuckoo land for 2 minutes. And how oh my God, Brian's so positive at the moment, brain. I kind of visioned, not that it would be able to keep quiet. Just imagine, and I am saying imagine, and I have to say this, just in case it gets clipped, and people go, oh my God, Brian thinks Spurs are signing Kane. No, I don't. But I've pictured it in my head. Do you remember the Gareth Bale reveal video where he's just sitting there? We knew it was him, but he's watching his old goals. Can you imagine if they just started it and went 10, 9, all the way down? It was just a black room, like all blacked out. You couldn't see anything. And then all of a sudden, one of the commentators from one of his goals go, Kane! Or one of his, when the commentators have gone nuts, and that room just lights up and it's showing Kane goals. And then it pans around and sees him. My God, I'm like cinema. That would be the greatest reveal of all time and the biggest. Daniel Levy, guess what? Matched my ambition. We're going to come back to reality now, but that's how I'd picture it. To do that Gareth Bale video release would be unbelievable. Oh, yeah, sorry. Going back to Solanke. Wobbles. When we signed him, or when we were rumoured to sign him, I didn't get it at all. Then we signed him, and I saw his pressing, his this, his that. I was like, okay, maybe. But the number one thing is the stat I always go on about is this just goes to show what Spurs recruitment was like. We signed him, and yes, it was his only one good season, but he had the most headed goals in the entire Premier League, which is quite quite a good stat to have when you think about the strikers that are in the Premier League or were at that time. And what do Spurs do? They bring him in, and they do not have a winger that can cross a fucking football, which is just typical Spurs. I think his time has passed. If I could get him out the door, I'd get him out the door. But I can't see with what we're doing unless Spurs go absolutely like over the top, or not over the top, beyond over the top mad, is getting 2 or 3 strikers in, which I just can't see happening. I think we'll get one in. We're definitely getting at least one in. Definitely. And it will be a quality one. But I can't see us getting rid of Solanke. And I can't see a lot of bids come. Maybe Newcastle, I don't know. But I think with a winger that could cross it, put it this way, if we had even Perisic during that time, or Solanke during that first season of Ange, I think he would have been a runaway success. I really do, with that delivery. But if we could get him out, I'll get him out and get to it. I want Guirassy big time. Whether he'd come, whether we'd do it, is another thing. But I think with a winger, he could be a lot better. It's whether he gets the chance, doesn't get injured. Marianne would do it. He cannot be our number one striker. It is really tough. It is really tough. And I've said it before, it's because we've gone down to one striker every week. So many teams just play with a one-off striker. I miss the strike partnerships. There have been the Sheringham Klinsmann, the Kane Son, Berbatov Keane, Garth Crooks and Steve Archer. That's just Spurs alone. I miss the double axe, and it's killed the striker market. If he stays and we can get in a winger whose delivery is like as consistent as Perisic, and Solanke can stay fit, then I think he could do very well. But do I see him getting injured? Yes. Do I see him as the man, if we build around the team and he's the main striker, he could get 20 plus goals a season? I don't. But Richarlison will be gone. Solanke may go next summer, or he could go this summer. Who knows? But I find it highly unlikely. Big up, superstar. Hey, Brian, my sentiments are: let's wait before I give flowers, as they have shown something different. But that's exactly what I was saying, Ellie. This is why I used the drinking analogy, because my dad was rooting for me, didn't believe me, but he was there right by me, just making sure I was on the straight and narrow, keeping me going, but always like, wait a minute. And every time something bad happened, and in the first year of me giving up drinking, my mum gave cancer. My mum got cancer, but thankfully kicked its ass. My sister had a miscarriage before the twins came. I had a friend die abroad. I had an auntie die, and a friend die, and then the day after my auntie died, which was my dad's sister. And this just shows what my dad was like. His sister had died, and he at the time, his other sister has passed away as well now, and my nan was here. And when that happened, my dad left my nan and his other sister and the family to come and find me, to make sure, after losing an auntie and a mate day after, that I hadn't heard to drink. He sat with me, but I was like, Dad, I'm not going to drink. I promise you. I'm not leaving you. I had other things that happened during that year, and I did not. But again, my dad was, and other people. So where we are right now, like I said, this is just me. This is just me. I'm not saying everyone get in line with me, but we need to be shown something different. Like you said, They have shown something different, which is exactly what we wanted. So I'm not going to go, this is what I wanted. And then, like I said, do I trust them? No, they're going to have to earn it. Do I believe this is a constant? Only time will tell. They can only do it the next week. If we go at January, even if we sign one player in January, but it's a big player, a big transfer, not a loan with an option to buy, unless it's like a Leao kind of player. Or if Spurs are genuinely going for Europe, as in Europa League, Conference League, Champions League, which I don't think. I think that's what, even though we get the quality, it may be a bridge too far. If they go and sign a star in January, let's say base 60, 70, whatever, around like not the 15, 20s, that'll be something different that they haven't done before. And then if we have a very good, wherever we finish, if they go again, then you're like, okay, you've done it once, you've done it twice, you've done it. Then I understand more people doing it. But like I said, my personal reference I'm using is the one I used about me and drinking. And they have. That's what I'm. Okay. So this is what I'm saying about Fernandes and Tonali. Under Levy, we sold Kyle Walker for 50 million. The best right back in Spurs Premier League history. Depending which way you want to look at it, tied above, slightly below, Gary Neville was the best right back in Premier League history. We sell him and we replace him by signing. Trippier was there and we treated Trippier badly. We signed Serge Aurier, Matt Doherty, Jed Spence, Emerson Royale, Pedro Porro, and spent 130 million over the span of whatever years, because we kept buying cheap, buying twice. We've just bought Tonali and Fernandes and spent over 70 million more on the two of them than those five combined. So when we say buy cheap, buy twice, they've just spent, not only that, they spent £52.5 million on a striker with 1 year left on his contract. This is the bit where this is why I'm using the alcohol knowledge. Like I've been saying, I'm sorry if I keep repeating and bringing it up. You may not agree or like or trust, but I get what you're saying, Eddie. I've just given that example, but literally, we've just spent over £200 million in 24 hours on two players, rather than buying cheap. Tonali could literally be, apart from Højbjerg, the replacement for Dembele. Like the permanent replacement to Moussa Dembele. Fernandes, a 21-year-old that we just went 85 mil. There is change. There is at the moment. I'm not saying you did well, mate. Do you know what, mate? I always say so. As I said, I gave up July 2008. We won the Carabao Cup, or whatever it was, Carling Cup, Worthington Cup, Carling Cup. Was it called the Carling Cup then? I can't. It's changed so many bloody times. That was a bender and a half. That was an absolute bender and a half. But I always say, you know, like cat years, like and dog years, 1 year is every seven for them. That's what I think supporting Spurs is with alcohol. And if we did that, 18, I can't do the maths. That is 18 times 7. I'd be 126 years sober in 24 days. That's what it is being a Spurs fan and being in the pubs and not having a drink or going to the games. So Scott's got, if we don't sell tell Gray, Bergvall, Sarr, this window is a foul. Mate, I agree with every one of them apart from Gray. I honestly. Like I said, Vuskovic, I think going was a fantastic bit of business. Because another thing we've said, which also shows change in some way, we've said for years and years and years that we keep players at this club that aren't suited for purpose, aren't wanted by the manager, can't sell them for a decent amount of money, can't get them out the door. We let them stagnate till their contract goes down, and then we lose them. Well, De Zerbi clearly didn't think he's all that or fits into his plans. So rather than let him stagnate, we got 50 odd mil or close to 50, rising to 50 on appearances or whatever bonuses. He wasn't going to be part of the manager's plans, so we got a good price for him. And the biggest thing for me is the generational, which he could well go on to prove. He could go on to be a brilliant player. We could regret it. He could go on to be the biggest anticlimax ever and not do well. But isn't it amazing that when he was available on loan, so many clubs were linked with him, so many clubs wanted him, blah, blah, blah. The second Spurs said, no, if he goes for money, we're selling him. Brighton were the only team that regularly came in for him. Now, I'm not saying he's not going to be great. I'm not saying he's not going to be shit. But I think it's great business. We wanted to get players out that don't fit in the manager's plans. And De Zerbi's done it. De Zerbi's gone and done that part. Or Spurs, whatever you want to say. Big up, Ellie, darling. Thank you very much indeed. Please do, if you can, smash the like, the subscribe, and all that jazz. Share it with your friends. Liao, now thank God you've got the name up because I've been saying Cody. I can't say it with Ben. Cody Gakpo, but I keep saying Gapco. I'm just going to stick to Cody, the Dutch guy that plays for Liverpool, or currently, and the Netherlands. Savinho or Somerville. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to put two more people in that list because Somerville mainly right. Liao, do you know what? Liao, Louis, bro. He is either unstoppable, unplayable, and terrorizing, or he's not. And when he's not, he concerns me. I would add, I am a massive fan of Nusa. A massive fan of Nusa. So I've got to add him, and I love and die at Everton, who can play across the front three. I would have said Rashford, but I think Rashford's just a bridge too far. But I would have Nusa or Ndai. I think it's going to be Savinho, in all honesty. But I think we need another winger if he comes in as well. In all honesty, oh my God, Kuva, brother, big, one of the greatest men to walk under God's hot sun is this man, and it is great to see you in the chat, brother. Big up, Brian. Beating an addiction is only possible when you want it yourself. You'll almost certainly relapse if you don't do it. If you do it for others. And congratulations on 30 years, mate. Congratulations. You and I, obviously, Kuva and I do a lot of things together, as in helping people. We've had a few groups where Kuva and I have tried to assist people, whether it be mental health, addiction. And Kuva is one of the nicest men you could ever wish to meet. Two wonderful children. And Kuva, if you ever need to smile or just have a laugh, you need to have this man on speed dial. It's a pleasure having you here, brother. 47, let's get that. Please tell me it's gone past 50 now. Come on, people. I think when you stop drinking, you need something else to pass the time, work, etc. I finish work, I do a physical job, and I want a beer after, etc. A few, do you know what, Sonny? I gave up when I was 28. Was it 28? 28? Whatever, I can't. 29. It's good maths, wasn't it? And at the time I was out of work. My sister got married in the May that I quit in the July. That was a free bar. My God, that was one of the last benders, and that was quite a bender. But I just said to myself, I couldn't find a job. I wasn't living at home because my parents couldn't trust me. And I was getting quite out of hand again. And I just turned around to myself and said, that's it. I can't do this. Within 3, I was only meant to do it for a few months, Sonny, just to even the score and and try and find a respect for alcohol, whatever. But within 3 months, my life changed so drastically. I'm not saying that works for everyone, but I got a job, got back on with my parents, you name it, through hard work and dedication. So I understand where you go for it. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. The first 8 months, I was very, very lucky and very, very, very fortunate. I tell this story quite a few times. When I decided I needed to give up, I found it wasn't rehab. I did go into rehab, but it wasn't overnight. It was you go during the day and then obviously, and I knew things were bad. And I knew if I carried on, I could start feeling, let's just say I had some symptoms of liver fat, whatever. And I know the liver repairs itself. It weren't good. It weren't pretty. My life was being destroyed. I literally was drinking till I passed out with a drink in my hand, like literally, and I'd wake up. And obviously, when I've been asleep, I poured the drink and I thought I'd piss myself. In fact, most of the times I probably had pissed myself as well. And I'd start again and just repeat. No eating, very, very rarely eating, no hygiene, no brushing teeth, no nothing, showering, anything. And I need rehab. So I found one that was local to me, or I say local, 2 buses away. And they said to me, Brian, can you get yourself here right now? I said, I can get the buses, but I can't come to you. And they're like, why? And I said, because just to get to the bus stop for my first one, I've got to pass 3 pubs. And then when I get the second bus, I've got, and I physically don't trust myself to get there and back. And for 2 weeks, for that time, they could tell how bad I was. For 2 weeks, they came to my place that I was living at and gave me 2 hours a day. So I didn't need to leave the house, so I could confront what I had to. I couldn't go into a pub for 8 months. But after that 2 weeks, I was like, you've given me the effort. And I got on those buses and I didn't stop. Was the temptation there? Absolutely. But I was prepared to do it. I had it in my head. I'm not falling off this time. I'm doing it. So it is fucking hard. I kind of, when I sit here sometimes, I think, God, am I making it sound so easy? Like, I'm not going to have a drink again. That's it. It's not. It's not. It is the hardest struggle. And the first few months feel like torture, but you have little milestones. And once you start getting through that, like they say, it takes a couple of months to get this out, whatever it may be. My God, the reward, mentally, physically, emotionally, and everything. You're like, okay, it was worth it. But like I said, it is a struggle. It is a struggle. With Robertson, the Bravcut, Davies, Kinski signings, this is Scott. Oh, and I will say one thing. I will say, not about Scott here. People, I don't know how you feel about what I'm about to say. People will know I'm a massive, massive fan of Pedro Porro. I fucking love that man. I really, really adore him. And obviously, he gets a lot of stick for being out of position last season and other seasons. But under Ange, when players have been injured, under Frank and under De Zerbi, for a majority of the time, he has been the only guy that can actually pass a football and have faith. We've overplayed him to fucking oblivion. Pedro Porro is one of the highest rated defenders. I know he's playing in the Spain team before. The signing of Pedro Porro on the new contract, I think I will tell you now, Joe, what, this is the question I'll ask. And this is only players that were there last season. Only players that were there last season. I'm going to start Scott's question so I can come back to it. Who do you think is going to be the most improved player under Roberto De Zerbi? Because I'm telling you now, mine, without a shadow of a doubt, is Pedro Porro. I think Pedro Porro is going to be absolutely superb under Roberto De Zerbi. With Van Hecker's passing ability and getting there. I will say as well with Porro, he was doing very, very well last season until Kudus got injured, because Kudus tracked back and helped. Kudus would offer that support and track back. Then he got injured and no support, no help. The midfield last season until the very end with De Zerbi was all over the place. I adore. It's very sad. I don't say very sad. Jan Vertonghen is my second favourite ever Spurs player, just because I'm obsessed and love that man. But right now, when I say my favourite Spurs players are obviously Van der Ven, because Scott's going to love this one, Super Kevin Danso, and Pedro Porro. I remember when it was like your Gazzas, your Klinsmans, your Ginolas, your Bows, your Van der Vaarts, your Modric. Obviously, you have people like Cook Sheriff that loves Mabba, or Ledley King legend. But it's very rare that you like defender. Is like my I think Pedro Porro is going to be incredible under De Zerbi. I really, really, really do. So yeah, let's see what people are saying with this. Who is going to be the? I've just seen. There's a big up Angus, bro. Big up Angus. I hope you're good. It was great bit this week when we got Fernandez. He messaged me and goes, "Well done, you actually put the money down." I said, "Wait till Tonali comes." He's like, "I'll see it when I believe it." Then I messaged him, "Do you believe it now?" And he's like, "Yeah." Fair play to Angus. But let's see what people are saying with the Pedro Porro. But I will say also, just because I can see them, big up Justin, big up buddy. I'm strong, mate. Do you know what? I've found strength, but I'm strong because of the people around me. When I was falling down, mate, I have the tattoo. Do you know what? I've got it on my back. And I actually saw this Nelson Mandela quote on the Toronto transport system, like the London Underground, where you have the, and I loved the Mandela tweet, and I loved it so much. I had it tattooed on my back, but as it's on my back, I can't remember what it says word for fucking word. So let's have a look. I have on my back Nelson Mandela quote. There it is. 1 second. This is a touch. The greatest glory of living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time you fall. I have that on my back. And thankfully, around me, I have a lot of people. I have a lot of people around me that help me stand up, which is very important to me. Mike, big up to you, buddy. As in Pellegrini, I've just seen your WhatsApp skis. That mean a lot to me. And you're right, like I said to you, Vuskovic, it could be the biggest error we've made. It could be he's the biggest busted flush we've ever had, or not ever had, but you know what I mean. Fans didn't mind when we spent 200 mil on shit, but do you know? This is mate, you're back. This it's mad. It's mad. Big up, Don Corleone is in the house. Big up. Yeah, life can be hard, brother, like we said. But let's see. Unfortunately, mate, that's it. Like I said, if you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. When you hit rock bottom, you can choose what path you want to go down, and like it's like having a factory reset. Thank you very much indeed, Michael. Means a lot to me. Porro, mate, this is a guy as well. A saying I've said for years and years and years is we overplay and undervalue these players, and I've always said it's not financially. I mean, physically, mentally, everything. And like Heung-min Son and Harry Kane, if you fit, you play, you fit, you play, you fit, you play. Højbjerg, you could do it with because he was bomb-proof. Porro, the wing-backs, full-backs, whatever you want to call them right now, or whatever position the current manager wants to play them in all the times we've had him, he doesn't get a rest. He does not get a goddamn rest. Even with Spencer, who, by the way, against Congo was embarrassingly shit. And this is where I was going with it. I don't see why people prefer Spence over Porro. Now, I know it could be personal preference, whatever, but I would not. If he can't get the starting right back and Pedro Porro plays every single game, and the only way he can get game time is left back, mainly because of injuries, I am a Porro man. One of the worst fullbacks to. Okay, sure. I lost it, brother. Well, yeah. Do you know what? If I always said if I had ever got, I gave up. My wife. The greatest thing as well with Alana, my wife, is we met in Israel, and she saw me drinking at my worst, like when I was wildly out of control. And she knows all my demons. And you know what? When I almost slipped here when I first came around the Champions League semi-final Mora game, when I didn't tell her that I was struggling, and I thought, wait a minute, I'm close to breaking here. But when I did tell her, not only did she find me an alcohol place, or sorry, not an alcohol place, counselling place immediately. Because it's something I should have done when I first came here, because I have all the setup I need back home. If I'm back home and I feel like that, I know exactly where I can go and what I can do. Because I had to wait for my PR here, I didn't even think about checking. Didn't think this would happen. But not only did she find me that place, this place also did a course of how to live with an addict and to understand the mood swings, the whatever. And she knows how to handle it, but she seen me at my worst. And I mean my worst. But anyway, someone tried to come onto her that she didn't like in this hostel. I almost threw him through a glass door. Not my proudest moment. It's not something I'm like, oh, look at me, her hero. But such was the anger and rage. It's sometimes something sparks off, and I hope everything is okay. What a name. What a name. Right now. Oh, by the way, we're saying about who's going to do the release video or the phone call. Someone actually said maybe it will be Redknapp's White, Sandro Tonali. Sandro Redknapp. But yeah, Angus Robertson is far. Okay, where we go. Porro's out. Yeah, do you know what, Justin? I think he can play both. Don't get me wrong. Right wing back is his preferred position, and I think he's most effective. But I think with Van Hecker's passing, with Senesi's passing, if Porro makes those runs, they will find him more often than not, a lot more often than not. So I think Porro, like I said, I think he's to be the most improved player by a mile. This is the thing. This is modern day football. But I think he's a massive asset for our football club. Destiny, if he can... Extra Tone, what a name. If he can stay fit, then it's a great shout. But it's a massive season for him. Kinski, listen, I'm a Kinski man. I'm delighted with this contract. Delighted. And I think there's so much more to do outfield than there is with him. If he has a bad season, next season you make a goalkeeper a priority. The only time I would say buy a goalkeeper this season is like Man City when a Donnarumma became available. If a goalkeeper of that magnitude or that class, not that Donnarumma's come around, grow on trees, but you get what I'm saying. If a player of that ability comes up, then you have to do it if they'll come. But I'm happy with Kinski, more than happy. Porro or Destiny, Bentancur. The midfield is going to be a battleground, which is so good to see. There's actually going to be genuine competition for places. Now, there is going to be hopefully a quality double act for each position. And the going into training now, they're going to be, excuse the pun, spurred on. I love this man. So you reckon the most improved player is going to be from... I love you, Scott. He could be, but I just can't. I don't have the faith in him to stay fit. I don't have. Look, I would sign two strikers to get the two out, but maybe with a person that could deliver the ball, he could be he could be an asset. He could be amongst the goals, but we'll see. Kinski's there. Odegaard, that's a Louis, bro. That is a bold statement. Not only when he's back, but Matoma 2.0. I can't see it. But fair play if that's what you think. Fair play, mate. I'm not doing this where you come in and you do this. I'm a massive fan of Porro. Defensively, he got found wanting a few times. I don't take that. I don't deny that. I do, however, also say the whole defence was, or most during until De Zerbi came and sorted things out, our football team weren't even running as a cohesive unit. He was asked to get pushed forward to try and create because he was the only one with any absolute passing skills and delivery that could do anything. So he's up and down, overplayed non-stop. So if he has the season I think he'll have, he's definitely going to be there in that top four. We'll see. Not seeing though, not even funny, man. Big up Brian in the chat. Proper great community you built up. Be lucky, everyone. Go have a good one, mate. Go have a good one. And this is the main thing. Me and Ben are so adamant that we build this community up and be able to talk about things like this, whether it be in the morning, the evening like this, and just have some good times. That's the most important thing. Like I said, I'm loving streaming again, and it's this show that drives it for me. Exactly, Justin. Exactly. Solanke is not Stuart. I'm with you. But I do think service. He will. I do think with the service he will be much improved, but that doesn't say much. If this was the first season we'd signed, like I said, if Ange Postecoglou and Tottenham had actually bought a winger that could give him delivery, then we would have seen. Last season he was injured non-stop, and then Spurs would have got colonoscopy. No goalie, no Golo Mawani, which thank God he ain't coming back to this football club. I would have rather have Vincent Janssen and Werner back than that man. But we'll see. Don't get me wrong. If I could get him out the door, I would. Even if Newcastle said, you know what? Not that Newcastle will be happy with us at the moment, or very happy with us. They just got 100 mil. I'd swap Voltemida for Solanke in a heartbeat. All love, bro. All love. 3 a.m. Oh, Jesus Christ. I remember those days of just turning up at mates at 3 a.m., mate. Have some fun. So yeah, mate. Oh, that's the Nelson Mandela quote. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to do a whole thing on my back. So I've got one right here, and I was going to do it like a family tree of quotes kind of thing. That would all have led and spiraled. But then I realised I'm not going to be able to do that. And now when people say, what tattoos you got? And I go, got a Nelson Mandela quote on my back. And somebody, it could be strangers that see my tattoos on my arms. They're like, what's it say? And I'm like, and I have to get my bloody phone out. It's annoying. I should have had it somewhere visible for me. Where are we? Viskovic got, and then he was dropped. Ethan, big up, buddy. I hope you are good and well. I did say I was going back up to the top, but we'll carry here for a bit because there's people that sometimes come in or have dropped out. So if you did have a comment and you're still here that I hadn't said and you want to make it, just whack it in again and we will get to it. Yeah, look, he is too slow. It is a massive issue of his. Don't get me wrong, his stature, his size, his athleticism, all geared up to be a star. But like I said, when it came to putting the money up, no one was prepared to do it, apart from Brighton. But we'll see. And this is the thing. So many are going, oh, that's £100 million player that we're going to lose out. We got the 20% sell-on fee, or 20% off if we buy him back. What if he doesn't? What if he doesn't? We'll see. We'll see. But do you know what the funniest thing as well, which just reminded me when we're talking about players going elsewhere because of the Van Hecker and whatever, Sandro Tonali's home debut competitively, because obviously we got that game against Hoffenheim the week before, was appreciated for it. His first Premier League home game just so happens to be against Newcastle United. Look forward to that. Stuart, I would, but then if we do, we need to bring another right back in. And bringing in another right back, once we've got the strike force sorted, which is another thing I'd love Spurs doing. They sold Vuskovic, obviously, because the deal came in. But sell to buy is what we normally get told. And they're slapping down money big time. Obviously, we will get some coming back. But it's mad. It's mad. Spence with Madueke. Oh, gee, yeah, mate. I mean, England tomorrow, I'm dreading it. I am dreading England tomorrow, especially if they turn up. If England don't turn up, or sorry, let me rephrase that. If Kane turns up, we've got a chance. And Kane is the best striker in the world. Hands down, without a question. Angus, I know you're in here. That man, to me right now, currently is the best player in the world. Without a doubt. And that maybe there is Spurs bias to it, but he is. And just when England needed him, strikers could be, the whole team were fucking shocking. Kane as well weren't having the best of games, but when it mattered most, bang, see you later, done deal, and away we go. It was a shocking performance, though. Daigle, he is. You don't. He is, mate. He completely is. Chelsea wants Spence. Mate, we don't normally do business with Chelsea, but off you go. Off you go. Where are we? Where are we? You two are talking. People are talking. Alonso. There we go. There we go. All day. Do you know what, Don? I don't know how good he's going to be when he comes back. I really do not know if he's going to be the Kulusevski. Another one overplayed and undervalued. Kulusevski would have 3 or 4 months where he's great or highly effective. And then either we overplayed him and he just goes stamina empty, like when you play Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter and you've got that much energy left, or he gets a big injury and is out for a while. I don't know if I'd cash in on him or not. Obviously, we'll see. There was a clip of him before the World Cup playing basketball and he still looked like he was limping a bit. Where does he fit in De Zerbi's plans? Because De Zerbi has never had him, or had him available, shall I say. But then again, will people buy him with his injuries? Spence go for 55 million all day. All day. Same. It'll be one deal that I wouldn't mind doing with Chelsea. I wouldn't mind doing with Chelsea one bit. The best improvements, but Extra Joe, big time. Big time. I think Timo for our medical team would be like Oxford and Cambridge, or Harvard and Yale if you live on this side of the pond. The medical team needs a complete revamp. Complete. If it's Chelsea, mate, Ethan, I know it's but mate, would you rather just, if it was 55 and Spurs wanted 60, I understand wanting that extra money, it's Chelsea, but I think to use someone's turn of phrase, if we got 55 million for Jed Spence, we would have had Chelsea's pants down. So I'll do 55 million in a heartbeat. There we go, Scott. There we go. No, they can't have him for nothing. On that note, that's that. Could you imagine? Not a sell-on fee, not a buyback clause. He has to play every time we play you. Oh, that'd be wicked. Maybe that's the new way of transfers. But mate, right, sir. This one will start, and I know Scott M will be tired. I am a great believer in Will Lancashire, because I think that's who you meant, Justin Lancashire. I think he could become a handful. I really do. Again, it's another youngster. I think he needs a loan. If he's not going to play regularly, obviously, I don't think he would be. Him being around the first team and getting the odd appearance here and there off the subs bench do him the world of good? Possibly. Would him going on loan to a challenging championship team, and I mean a genuine championship contender, or going to Sporting Lisbon that were rumoured to be interested in a loan or I wouldn't sell him. But I've got great faith in Lancashire. But do we do? But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, let's face it. This window is like no other. Value wise. This I understand. This I understand. But because you look at it, who else is that can play right back? Seriously, at the moment, there really isn't anyone. So I would agree that we need a replacement, because I don't want to be left short. We went left winger short. We've got right winger short. I wouldn't want to go and say, Porro, right, you're playing the whole season until we can sort this out, or playing another defender out of position. So we shall see. Angus, listen, our fan base could be bad. Our fan base could be split. Our fan base can be divided. Let's not do this. Let's not go on about your fan base and what they've been like over the years. I get some of our fans. I'm at a loss with some of our fans at the moment, but for the exact opposite reason that I normally am. So it's 6 and 1 1/2 dozen the other, but I do agree. Some our fan base. I've said if our fan base all agree on one thing, we all spontaneously combust. That's it. Goodbye. Good night. See you later. We all cease to exist. So long may the disagreements continue, I guess. Mate, big up to you in Singapore. I hope you are well, and the family, brother. Always a pleasure seeing you here. Yep, he has. But you know what? The one good season he had a certain Semenyo supplying him. Like I said, man, he could be a useful striker should we be able to get him firing and great deliveries in. Do I want to take that risk? No. Would I get him out the door? Yes. But I think Richarlison will be the striker to go. And then we'll bring, or not, and then, I mean, there'll be a striker replacement for Solanke. Richarlison. I think they may focus on outgoings after the left winger and striker. I still think there'll be another couple of players. Oh, no, I haven't got it yet, but I will be. I haven't had a... Now I'm back in what... Joe, what? I was going to get it there, wasn't I? I still will be. I still 100%... Thank you. I have completely, totally, and utterly forgotten about that. I get paid Tuesday. I've got Thursday off. Let me speak to my guy tomorrow. Thank you, Mike. Do me a favor. Can you if just in case I forget, WhatsApp me tomorrow, so I see it as a message. Not now, because I'll just look at it and then forget about it. Send me a message tomorrow. I did make that promise to myself and to you guys. I was going to get Freedom and the date he left. So that is happening. I completely forgot. Thank you. AU's a big up to you. Yeah, we were speaking earlier. I don't know if you were here. There's just something about Liao. I just don't think you understand. No. We had a list up before. Somerville as well. The Liverpool guy called Cody, because I keep fucking his surname up. There was another one there as well. I can't remember who we had. But I'd rather Nusa and Die. I would take and Die over Liao every single day of the week. I think and Die could be an absolute nightmare for defenders, nightmares. If we got and Die, that'd be a big deal. I completely forgot to mention the Bournemouth Krupke or Krupi. Oh me and names at the moment. I really like that Bournemouth guy. Look at the Bournemouth guy. He does want PSG. He does want PSG. I will say, Angus, you said that about Fernandes and you said that about Tonali, and look where we are. Look where we are, my brother. I don't think we are going to get him, though. I don't think we are, because he wants Paris Saint-Germain, and if they're about, it's not even worth, or it might be worth trying. We won't win. Spence, Gray, Solanke, all homegrown. Got to remember about this quota. There is that. There is that. I would sell the first and third one. You mentioned that. I don't want Gray to go, and I know you don't either. From what I remember, Mike, I don't think you do. But yeah, I would. I want to keep Gray. England have been, mate. Do you know what? And the worst thing is with this, I said it, and I've said it many a time. I just want England to get to the final. I don't care how we do it. I don't care how poor we play, like we did at the Euros. I don't even understand to this day the luck we had of getting anywhere near a final. Because of how poor we were. And England could do it again. Look, put it this way, England, apparently, Mexico have only lost 2 out of 80 games in that stadium, which is a nightmare to go into. Then you've got England, but then you counteract that with England since the World Cup final had not won a game since going a goal behind. There's so many things that just counteract everything and say, oh, but this stat, and I do get superstitious, but has everyone seen? I'm just going to quickly ask, and I'm just going to ask right here, just say yes or no. Has everyone seen the Viagra posts? I know I've sent it to a few people, and when I say that, you'll get the relevance. Have people seen the 2 Viagra posts? Have people seen it? How can we possibly send a player that looks like Harry Potter? Angus, you've seen it. Okay, let's see if we get some no's. I'm going to have to shut. Oh, Justin, you haven't. Marianne, you haven't. Let's get one more no. Let's get one more no. I'm going to do it anyway, but I just want to say there's got to be with 87. There you go. Okie dokie, artichokey. So let's just zoom in. Oh, this does make me laugh. This is genuine, by the way. Well, I say it's genuine. It's from the Sun. But let's see if you can see that. I'm going to zoom in, and then I'll read it out. But remember, this is one of 2. So, for God's sake, right? I'm going to read it because England players would be allowed to use Viagra to help cope with the high altitude in Mexico City, as the drug is not on WADA's list of banned substances. The World Athletics Drugs Association, I would imagine that is. Studies suggest it can reduce fatigue and dizziness at high altitude, improving blood flow in the lungs. So that is that is now the second part of this is the genius part. I'm going to zoom in here. The way people think of these things, quickly is unbelievable. Like that, people think of things. I think that's one of the funniest things I've seen, and just so typical for people to come up with that so quickly. I don't know how they do it, but is that not genius? That is absolute fucking genius. Oh dear, dear, dear. Right, let's get back to where we were. You would say that. Yeah, do you know what? I had so many tweets lined up for if we'd lost to Congo, the Dominican Republic of the Dominican Republic. Is that right? Dominican Republic of Congo. Or whatever of the Republic of Congo. Apologies if any Congolese are in here. And one of them was if Tuchel isn't like, and I linked one of the main tweets were, if we'd gone out to Congo, that is worse and more embarrassing than Iceland in 2016. I believe it's been 10 years since that. 10 years since Iceland in France 2016. How embarrassing that was. And I was going to say as well, Tuchel best be out quicker than Hodgson. I think he's only contracted to the World Cup, isn't he? I can't see him keeping it unless we win it. Steve Turner, my brother, my man. I hope you're good and well. What time is it back home now? Got a load of people from England, so it's coming up to 4:00 in the morning. Fair play to you, brother. Fair play. I hope you're good and well in the family. Yeah, I'm more aligned with you here than, oh my God, Kulu's great. I think he's going to be done for. He has been. He has been, but you know the difference, Angus, is that France team right now is untouchable. They are reminding me, when I remember watching peak Brazil, obviously I was too young for the 80s and the 70s, but the 90s and early 2000s, where they just play people. France this year have been like the Harlem Globetrotters at this World Cup. And they've got Elise and Doué and the Barcola. Harry Kane's got fuck all. He has got sod all. France as a unit and as a team are unstoppable. So much so, I reckon that Brazil and Argentina, or England and pick another team there, could literally play them with 22 men on the pitch, and France could give them a 2-0 lead, and France would still win right now. I didn't get to what I was asleep during the Paraguay game, and it was a penalty from Mbappe, Paraguay, which Germany, which is always good to see them lose. He's been unstoppable, but then when it came to the game, he had to rely on a penalty. But I'm picking Kane, and that probably could be a lot to do with my Spurs bias, but yours is definitely your Arsenal bias. Yeah, I agree with you, Justin. I just don't think, like we've done with Bergvall, like we've done with Vuskovic, we've cashed in at the right time, but I can't see people. I don't even know how much I don't. And Scott M was going to say free or pay money. In all honesty, with that huge injury, how long has Kulusevski got long in his? Let's have a look. When does Kulusevski's contract end? So, okay. So he's got 2 years left on his contract. He has 2 years left on his contract currently. How much would you genuinely, and I mean genuinely, let's not do the freeze, whatever. With 2 years left of his contract, this huge injury where he hasn't kicked the football since the Crystal Palace game. Was it Crystal Palace or Aston Villa? Crystal Palace. Game, not last season, the season before. I remember it was only a slight twinge from Spurs. He should be good for the final. How much do you genuinely think Kulusevski could get? And I'm taking serious serious amounts, because I would say, Angus, you might be right, around 20, 30 max, 30 maximum, I would say. Yeah, Mike, I again, this is the problem. This is a massive problem. And this is why it's a big season for Destiny. If he gets injured or has a big injury this season or a stop-start, how do you sell him? How do you sell him? 25, 30 because of his injuries? Fair estimates. Fair estimates. Nothing until he proves he can. And this is the thing, but I just don't. I just don't see how he can get back. Of course, the KDL are in here. The KDL. But I think he is done. Like Steve's just said, Decky is done. If he comes back, he'll be exactly. I mean, the one thing I will say is, and I saw the program on it with what's the big injury Shearer had? Was it ACL? Was it his Achilles? I think it was his ACL. But whatever it is, it comes back stronger. And he said, like, even when he came back from two of them, and let's face it, Shearer speaks for himself. So I don't know if MCL, it might be, wait, let me find out. What was Alan Shearer's biggest injury? Let's have a look. Thank God for Google. ACL. Done his ACL twice. So it's I don't think we can risk it with Decky because of the injuries he had before. We say that. Look at Madison. But we shall see. Oh, that'll be a sight for sore eyes. That will be a sight for sore eyes. Justin, do you know what? He looked great against us. But this is why Spurs are looking for versatility, aren't they? We had this conversation during the week on the show. I want us to get an out-and-out striker, and as in Garassi. If it was a Vlahovic, someone that is a specialist striker, but they want as well a left winger that can play striker or a striker that can play left winger. And I get what you're saying. You've got Kudus. Kudus could go in the 10. If he goes in the 10, maybe Kudus goes back out wide. Maybe if he was to stay. But this is why I think we should get Ndai. Ndai can play either side. Akliouche also apparently. Oh no! Wait a minute. Is that going to be Akliouche from PSG? Because I think he might be going PSG. Sorry, from Monaco going to PSG. Because yeah, okay. So it was because Eric Tottenham's just come in and said it. So yeah, it must have been that. That's exactly. So I do think he's going to be a very good player. We could have had him, and once again we missed our part. I'm finally feeling tired enough to try sleeping again, Brian. Probably you again. Are you trying to say I've made you tired? I have that effect on people, brother. Who would have known? I could be your. I could sing you a lullaby, mate. That'll do it. Oh my good God, Mr. fucking K, my brother. How are you? Every time I see this man, I think of the Levy Out segment he did on this channel. But the second thing, a more important thing I remember, is when you and I met for the first time when we were going to the Spurs. I can't even remember what game it was, brother. But it was the first time we'd seen each other face to face, and literally we hugged. And it was one of those where we would have been there all night if we hadn't thought, wait a minute, we got a game. Much love to you, brother. I hope I keep saying to so many people, I need to catch up with people, and you're definitely definitely up on that list. Definitely up on that list, brother. Hope you and the family are well. Akliu's another player. Exactly. Mate. That all day. That setup, 100%. The thing with Guirassy, and I keep using this word, it's probably the wrong word to use in this day and age, is we need a predator. Like Adidas predator, we need an absolute killer up front. An out-and-out goal scorer. I understand the striker that can play winger or winger that can play striker, but we need an out-and-out fox in the box, deadly assassin, whatever you want, the terminology you want to use for the striker. And for me, it's Guirassy. Maybe at the wrong end of his career and winding down, but I think in the Premier League he could be absolutely devastating. Race care, Coover, race care. I think that's meant to be take, and it is, but that race care. Exactly, Ethan. Exactly. Yeah, mate, there's big rumours about the filth, unfortunately. There's very big rumours about the filth. I would take him all day long. I really am. We could have had Nusa before, but he got an injury. I think Nusa is a potentially, and I know we use that word so often, but I really like this kid. Yeah, he could be. Guirassy. Yeah, listen, the Saudi League, and by the way, Angie's at Saudi. That's all I'll say. But mate, if only. We were talking about it before, Mr. K, and if he could come back, my good God. Obviously, if there was the whiff of an opportunity, then it's that man all over. Yeah, we'll see, Rogers. You got to pony up 130 mil, bro. You got to pony up 130 mil. Yeah, exactly. Oh, mate, do you know what, Ethan? I was talking with Ben, as in We Are Tottenham TV, Ben, and it's either this season or next season, or it ain't happening. It's this season. The only way we could do it is, I reckon, if an Elise goes to Real Madrid, and these are all ifs, buts. I've just seen Scott's comment. I'll get to that. Shortly. Well, I was like, and then if Kane thinks we've just lost Elise, last year his contract, and with the whole match my ambition, I won't leave. If Tottenham could turn around and go, Harry, just you seen what's going on here? You've seen what is happening here. Does this kind of... I'm not saying it is going to happen, but I'm saying it's got to be worth picking up a phone and a call. And if he doesn't sign a contract and he's available for free and he sees that we get Champions League or Europe, then I think it could happen. But if it don't happen in this summer window or next summer window, it ain't happening, in my opinion. But Guirassy would be incredible. He may be wrong end of a couple. Oh, without a doubt, buddy. It's why it's my number one. I don't think Ronaldo has the legs for Ange Ball. Oh, I'm waiting for Scott's comment, which is only a couple away. Yeah, exactly, mate. He is now Tottenham's record goal scorer, England's record goal scorer, very soon to be England's record cap player, and now he's England's all-time World Cup record goal scorer. The man's a phenomenon. And I think he desperately wants Shearer's record, and I think we all want him to get Shearer, so Shearer can stop banging on about it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind him. On his wages, it's going to be bloody hard. Oh dear! I couldn't believe it when I saw it yesterday. I couldn't believe it. Off he goes. We'll see what he does there. we saw on the overlap the players he said he wanted, and obviously Levy wouldn't, or Spurs wouldn't go out and buy him. Well, they'll go out and buy him there. Whether they will come, we'll see. I don't dispute for 1 second you've got the money. I don't dispute that, brother. It's whether Arsenal are prepared to have two massive outlays. I mean, you just lost Trossard, obviously, and is there another player that's gone recently? Oh no, that was Nathan Ake. It's no disputing you've got the money. We've had the money for years, but we just chose not to spend it. Will Arsenal pay 130 million for him? We'll see. I think there's a possibility they could. They've shown it with Rice. I have moved on from Kane. We have listen, it's just the romantic. You've moved on, but don't get. If I said to you right now, you could have Harry Kane back in this football club this season or next season, are you taking it? Surely you're not. Surely you're not saying no. We're fighting of sponsors like Prime, mate. Sure. I love how he comes in and just makes this all about Arsenal. I fucking love it how he tries it. I reckon he'll come at the end of his contract if we're in the Champions League. Mate, there's every possibility on that. Oh, wait a minute. Let's have a look. Mike. I don't think I had seen it. Here we go. Oh, I've seen that statement. Does that mean he wants to sign all our deadwoods? You never know. Jed Spence. There you go. That's where you can go. See, this is why I get for all the reasons we've just said. Not saying it would happen. Like when Thierry came back on loan to you guys. You weren't in a good place, but his love for the football club. And he came back. Why? If we're still struggling in 17th and whatever, I'm totally with you. But I would hope if he comes back to the Premier League, it'll be to one club only. I would hope if he sees that the spending continues and top players come in and he feels that he can actually do something with this squad and win a trophy with Tottenham, he'd jump at the chance within reason. When I say jump at the chance, I mean that's to be financially viable and everything from both clubs. But there's lots of reasons. There's other reasons why he wouldn't as well. Big up, James, from South Australia. Hope you're good and well, buddy. Hope you're good and well. What's your thoughts on Ange in all the Australians that are in the chat? What's your thoughts on Ange going to the Saudi League? What is the memorial for play? Well done, Angus. Now you're talking. We don't need an upper third, mate. Mate, it wouldn't be just a case of for him to, mate, Don. We agree on so much. Kane coming back will be for hopefully to get him to get that record. Harry Kane back at Spurs with what's being assembled would be a sight for sore eyes. He's not in his upper 30s, he's 32. Early 30s. And he could still do a job in the Premier League without a doubt. Ronaldo now odds on to break 1,000 goals with a phenomenal attack. Mate, has he got the legs for it? And he had a good game against Uzbekistan or whatever it is. I didn't see the Portugal. Who did they knock out again? I can't remember who they knocked out. So I can't really comment on that. Everyone's going to hate me for this, but we've got to get over. No. If there's a sniff of an opportunity, you do it. We need, like we said, with Garassi being the approaching the end. Not a chance. I'll take Kane back in an absolute heartbeat. Do you know what, Justin? This is an interesting conversation because when we open the window and they're like, go get him, I was like, do we have the money? Yes. Would we even approach or get near him wage-wise? I was like, absolutely bloody not. His people wouldn't even sit down with us. You see Tonali's wages. I don't know how much he'd demand, but the only reason I haven't mentioned him because I just think that is out. I wouldn't surprise. Look, if we heard that we were going for him, genuinely going for him, do I think Spurs could pull it off? Possibly. No, probably. Would it be? Oh my God, that would be a jaw-dropping signing. Let's have a. God, I love you too, buddies, but stop talking about bloody Arsenal. I think Kane might come back. See, you got. There's people that will actually believe, because it's you, Scott, that you believe that we'll be in the championship in 4 years. Oh, mate. So off you go. Off you go. Loved you when you came. You just haven't improved. Spurs Richarlison, mate. I think Richarlison could be off to Fenerbahce. I really do. I'll take Kane back. Exactly. I would. Yeah. Well, it's not what's. It's just. This is just opinions. Like I said, people are above his age. People want to see new blood. I get that. I get that. But if we could get Kane back within before you said, would you take Harry before you even finish it? Where do I sign? Where do I sign? Mate, the Canada game, do you know what? The first half, Ethan, this has been a problem with Canada since I've been watching them. Cue Scott M joke with me moving out here and living here, being a permanent resident. They've played some very good football. They've created chances, but they're just horrific at taking them. And there were so many times in that second half after the goal where players were wide open and the final ball or the decision to take a shot was so sloppy. Conceded the first goal, which took the stuffing out. They kept trying to attack. The second goal, I knew it was a goal before. As soon as they attacked, I knew it. And then I started getting so tired around 90 minutes. I went to lay down and I didn't even realise it was 3-0 till I woke up from my sleep. They've done very, very well. Hopefully, the World Cup has really grabbed the young kids of this country and more people want to get involved in the sport. But yeah, it was a bridge too far. And let's face it, they would have had France next and it would have been a goodbye and quite humiliatingly poor or embarrassing, sorry. So yeah, hope he does well. So, okay, this is what, when I was saying what do the Australians think about him, I would take a McDonald worker than, oh dear. I wouldn't say guaranteed, buddy, for the Premier League in London. But I do think it would be more than Tonali for sure. Or on pot. Actually, it will be higher than Tonali. I guess my bias against Kane coming back is influenced by what I have seen LeBron. That I totally understand. This, see, when you put it in a way like this, I completely understand where you're coming from. I don't agree, but now you've put it into context. It makes I totally get what you're saying now, bro. I totally get what you're saying. But I in a as they say, a New York minute. This isn't pure sentiment. Kane's the best strike. Yup. If there's a world, if there's 1x, you go back. Oh, kudos. That last line is bang on, my brother. Good for us back working. He still has plenty to offer the game and offer Harry Kane the world or half share, mate. Do you know what? And I'm so glad you said that because someone put it on all the talking about the Villa fans and Newcastle fans bitching about our money, and they said wait till the Newcastle fans and Villa fans see when we start making the money from the hotel once it's finally up. There's also that talk about putting solar panels all around the roof those people have that. Spurs have applied to put, I can't remember how many, but they're trying to get planning permission to put solar panels all across the top of the stadium on the roof to obviously generate everything. And there was something else I can't remember. But they're like, when that revenue starts kicking in as well, Jesus Christ, whether it's ENIC or whether it's sold, whatever, but when that starts turning over, my God. And what Villa fans and Newcastle fans, Birmingham are proposing to build a new stadium in the Championship. And I think it's quite far ahead with planning. Once they've done that, forget what they're going to need to do to stay or be competitive. Once that stadium starts turning over what it does in the Championship and they start doing things up there, they'll be able to start spending. Obviously, this is years and years down the line. But if Spurs, once the hotel comes in, and if they do the solar panel things, which is a smart move in all honesty, let's face it, we're going the carbon, the green, but I can only imagine what it costs to generate. I'm not saying it's going to save us hundreds of millions or anything, but I can only imagine what that stadium's electricity and any Premier League's electricity output is during match days and and the concerts and whatever. I'm not going to bring up Angus's last comment because I don't want to read it out. I declined to do it on the grounds that I don't want to, as Harvey Specter said in Suits. And I use that line quite regularly. But yeah, the turnover. But what I don't understand, maybe someone can explain it to me here. Something I don't understand. Why have Spurs got to ask planning permission to put something on top of the roof when it's land, as in it's on the ground, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's like, why do you need planning permission to put solar panel, which is just a flat thing around the roof? It's not just putting another layer of roofing on. I don't understand why Spurs need to apply, or any Premier League ground, any. So Spurs have obviously, and even that down the road, that when they've got the bowl, why can't you just say, right, we're putting solar panels on here. This is our property. I'd understand if they're building out and they needed to do it was on public property, but I don't go. Oh, I did bring it up. I didn't bring it up. No one saw what I just brought up. It didn't happen. Watch, wait a minute. Let me just. There you go. That was the Men in Black neutralizer thing. I did not bring that comment up. I certainly wouldn't read it. Well, we'll never say never. Exactly. At least Morocco, France will be competitive. I think Canada. Oh, mate, like I said, Brazil and Argentina could play France with both teams, full teams on the pitch, and a 2-0 head start, and I think France win. And I'm not saying that for dramatic. They are playing a different level of football. It would have been highly embarrassing. You would have heard about the upsets and the massive football upsets. That would have been an absolutely horrific scoreline. He might be, but mate, remember when we played Galatasaray? He destroys defenses. He is an out-and-out goal scorer. And you know what, Kudos? I agree about his ego, but my God, sometimes you need a player with such a strong ego that's like, I am the man. I am the best. Give me the ball. Sometimes you need that, especially with a striker. Oh, God, can I stop doing that? Didn't that France game remind you of the... Mate, Steve, I fell asleep during it. After Canada, I fell asleep to it. I fell asleep. I started watching the Danelist show, who kindly redirected us to here. And even Scott was saying, Brian, I got enthralled or started having a discussion. It was like, Brian, you said you're going to bed. You haven't slept. I was like, yeah, you're right. And then I finally dozed off. So I haven't seen that game. So I can't really comment. Jane, how are you, darling? Hope you're good and well. Wide awake. What time is it back home? It is 4:10. 4:10. Wide awake. I can. the thought blows my mind that there's people awake or waking up like Steve at 4:10 in the morning and are listening to me natter on. But Jane is a lovely lady, and it's always a pleasure to see her and look at the reception she's getting because this chat is the best. Oh, it's without a debate. Was that the amount? 3,000. I'm sure my WhatsApp went, and it was you. No, it wasn't. I thought it would have been you, Mike, saying the numbers, but it wasn't. But yeah, but I don't understand why we need planning permission to put something on our own roof. Like I said, if we're building out and when we're building the stadium, we needed planning permission because it was public land or we bought it up. I get that. I don't understand how we need planning permission to put something on our own roof. And especially something that helps the environment. Oh, mate, it looks really good, doesn't it? Ethan, it looks really good. And if Birmingham do that, I mean, I know Villa are building their new stand, but if they do that, how could you, mate? Do you know what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to annoy a lot of people, not Spurs fans. I kind of hope Birmingham do this and do start reaping the benefits, do get into the Premier League and take over Villa just on what they're doing right now. And I'll tell you what, Gabby Abonglahor. I mean, we can all talk about Simon Jordan and his fucking... Joe, I actually love listening to Simon Jordan, except when it gets to Spurs. And I'm sure there's a lot of teams that would say that about Jordan, but I think he can give some very good football insights. He's not rattled easy when he destroys Keown. I love it. But whenever it comes on to Spurs, especially at board level, it's like I tune out. I tune out. It's just not worth it. But the Gabby Abonglahor one, this is a player, a professional athlete that played our beautiful game from a very young age. He knows exactly what PSR is. He knows he's one of the guys that were going nuts and taking the piss that we weren't spending. And it was like, why can't we spend? Why can't we do it? Our owners are billionaires, blah, blah, blah. We're European champions or Europa League, which, let's say European champions, because what we were saying. Why? It's not fair. It's not fair when we make so much more money than them. But it's they don't do this when Man U spent 200 plus on a strike force last year. They don't do this with Manchester City or Chelsea. They don't do it when Arsenal slapped 100 million down for Declan Rice. But when Spurs start flexing their financial muscle, which people have said, why aren't they flexing their financial muscle? They then want to go on and cry about it. But Gabby Abonglahor was the most embarrassing one. But also, Shearer's opened his mouth. And going, no, it's not fair on Newcastle. Why can't Newcastle with that? Behave? You all know the rules. You've all slammed Tottenham for not using the muscle, and now you don't like it because we are. Jane saying hello to everyone. Builders money, mate. We are. It's literally. It's becoming monopoly. It's becoming monopoly. Nick, big up, brother. I hope you're good and well, geezer, and the family. So probably a change of. Is this about that? Where we go? Never got asking permission for solar panels, but it is. Listen, like I said, I'm not back home anymore, so I don't know. Well, actually, I say that I'm not back home. I wouldn't have a clue about it over here. Okay, let's have a look. I know here in the US, even if you get a new roof put on your house, you need to get a permit from the town first, and it needs to be inspected by the solicitor. You need a solicitor for their great building. I know what you're trying to say, but it's mad. It's mad. And like I said, I understand if you're building a new roof because you're elevating, and obviously whether it be one of those, a thatched, a flat roof. If you're building that new, but this is literally solar panels. I'm not going to say they're this thin, but you know what I mean. In the grand scheme of the stadium, they're like that, just going around the stadium. That's it. It's not going to affect air traffic control. It's not going to fly. It's going to do. I just don't understand it. I almost did it, Angus. I almost pushed you on, but then I realised standard permitted development rights in the UK only allow commercial solar installations up to 1 megawatt of output without. Okay, now there you go. Now there is a Thank you, Mike. Thank you, brother. Mate, what is life? What is life? You can keep trying, Angus. I'm very now you've done it once. I'm very, very aware of what you're trying to do. That blows my mind. So now, even when they're trying to do something that can save money, forget Tottenham and save money. That is good for the environment, is good for sustainability and whatever. And I hate using that word, but not just for the football club, but for the world. And you need to get planning. Oh, dear. I'm not bringing his comments up, brother. I can assure you, I'm fully aware of what he's onto. And every time I see the word Angus now, I'm reading it. As soon as for people that have been on streams or will know how StreamYard works, as I'm looking at you right here and you see the things going through on YouTube, mine doesn't speed up, so it's whatever. But I can see every single comment to my right, which will be to your left. That right, don't know why I'm going right here because you can't see my hand, but right there, so I can see it. And every time Angus' name comes up, I'm proofreading it well in advance. Yeah, mate. If Birmingham could do it just to piss off Villa, I'd love it now. As Kevin Keegan said, I'd love it. No, I would love it if we beat them. I'd love it. Good day. Oh, mate, Aussie Spur TV. Love you, buddy. Love you, buddy. I hope you're good and well, my friend. I hope you are good and well. Gabby loved when we were going to be relegated, but now, bingo. Bingo. Mate, if big up to you, Luke, buddy. If Only Fools and Horses, if Gabby Abonglahor was an Only Fools and Horses character, he'd be Trigger. He is pathetic. Okay, Angus, I can bring this one up. Gabby Abonglahor is a prick saying Ray Rodgers can't sign for us. I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. He's with this, I'm actually going to agree with you, Angus. He's going mad that we're spending money because we've got the money to spend. But when there's a chance that he could get 130 million, whether you think he's worth it or not, so Villa can spend. No. These idiots. Just look. There you go. Yeah, we've got it. Thank you for my researchers. Well done on it like a car bonnet. I just copied it from Google and sent it to you. Okay. So there you go. There you go. I knew I had a click. There was a comment from Angus there, but it's at Marianne. I don't need to do it. Angus is lucky you two are pals. He does have the power, but also so does Angus. So does Angus. So he could just unmute the mute and go back and forth. But yeah, Angus, me and him will he does it to wind me up. He's the one filth fan that does trigger me because I know what he's doing. And sometimes like, is he doing this to wind me up or is he genuinely believing this? And I fall foul from it. But yeah, you could mute him, but it just mute you back or unmute the mute. Gabby, mate, so true. Yeah, exactly. Oh, sorry, I missed out Ethan's. Instead of most improved, who do you think? Whoa. If Scott M's here, he's going to say, when I asked the most improved, he said everyone. No one. Then he said most important. He's going to say everyone. From last season's players, the most disappointing. I'm going to say, oh, Jesus Christ. That is such, my God. Wow. Well, I've got to say, it depends who goes, really, doesn't it? Actually, do you know another? If I had to have a second most improved, it might be Conor Gallagher. Because I think he could be wonderful in this team, but most disappointing. My God, people, put your comments in most disappointing. If Spence is still here, Jed Spence. But let's assume Jed Spence. Let's do if Jed Spence was here or Jed Spence wasn't. If Jed Spence is here, Jed Spence. Oh, that is a tough, mate. Honestly, that is a tough question. Much love to you as well, brother. Much love to you as well. Reckon this current window will cause us to be unable. No, mate, Ollie. It won't make us unable to not spend because the revenue that we bring in will be pumping in. So I don't think we'll ever be unable to spend big. It's just a case of I've seen it before where just when you think, okay, they're going for something, this could either be a massive shut the fuck up Spurs fans, see we can spend the money. And we've done it once. And then if we get to Europe, we don't need to invest because look what we've got. Look where we got. Another year, blah, blah, blah. This is the big thing. Will it become the new norm? I think the money is always going to be there. It's just, or generated. It's just whether a case of they're willing to do it. And let's pray to God they are. Oi, oi, Alex, brother, you good? I hope you're good and well, geezer. 2-0 Mexico. Look, what is people's score prediction for tomorrow? What is people's score prediction for tomorrow, which is almost today here, and it is today for people back home? I literally think, I like I say, no Ornstein, no news, no Kane, no England. That's how it is. If Harry Kane turns up, we have. When I say turns up, I mean he's given the service to do what he did against or what he's done with so many teams. Then we have every chance. If Harry Kane is not on it, then I think it's not coming home. We'll be coming home. Spurs should. Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine? All that is there, mate. Do you know what? I mean, we're stuck. The one I would have taken for Villa, not now for obvious reasons, is John McGinn. I think honestly he would have been the bite that we need. But Tonali, remember when I said if I'm so happy with Kinski, I've got no problem with Kinski, but if a goalkeeper of a high level comes available and they want to come to Spurs, you go for it. Ebi Martinez, if he became available. Obviously, there's the filth connection. So would it happen? I don't know. But if Martinez became available, the double joy of, let's just pretend we sign Martinez, who, if he was available and could get him, I'd take him in an absolute heartbeat. In an absolute heartbeat. As much as I love Kinski, and I think he will be Tottenham's number one for a long time, I think if a goalkeeper of that stature becomes available, you have to do it. You have to pivot and go get it. And to double piss off the filth of bringing an ex-Gouda back, who they should never have got rid of. But then you say that, it led them to Raya, and look where they are now. And Villa fans would be too much. I love Bundia. I wish we'd got him from Norwich, is Buendia, or however you pronounce it. I think he's a top player. Well, Kolo and Basuma are gone, thank God. And could they get worse, in all honesty? Big up, Corey. If I remember right, that's Corey. And if it is, big up to you, Corey. Okay, 1 second. That's not... Daigle, right now, without anyone's signings for the top 4 clubs last season, Daigle, right now, without anyone signing for top 4 clubs from last season, so everything is as is. Oh, mate. Well, apart from Villa, you've got City and Liverpool under new management. If Iriola can have the impact that we saw that he's had at Bournemouth, I think Liverpool could be frightening this season. especially with what they did last season. Like when Slot came in with Klopp's elite team, he has got some elite players to work with. I think Isaac will be frightening this season under him. I think he'll be frightening. I would say Liverpool or you. I think Man City are in a... Yes, they got Haaland. Hopefully they won't have Marmoush because he'll be a Spurs player. But it would be you or it'll be Liverpool or you lot. But if Areola can get a tune out of them, I think Liverpool could have a massive, massive season in the Premier League. Oh, you're going Bentancur, biggest disappointment. The midfield is stacked. The midfield is stacked. It's a shout, Mike, but do you know what it is? I can't see him getting game time. I can't see him getting the game time to say, yeah, he's fit, if you know what I mean. I think he's... Well, it depends what the left winger does. And there are rumours he could be out. He could, but we'll see. Most disappointing is... Gallagher, I don't think so. I think Gallagher... Oh, I forgot about Kudus. The one thing I will say about Kudus, again, with Van Hecker and his passing and being able to find him, De Zerbi wanted him at Brighton before West Ham got him. I think last season with Frank, we got him and Kudus started off really well. But it was literally after a few weeks, it was stop Tottenham, just get man Mark Kudus, and Spurs have got no creativity whatsoever. I think Kudus could have a good season. I think. Doesn't mean could even play in the 10. Who knows? Should it be required? I wouldn't put Kudus there. Gallagher, I think, is going to have a really good season. But we shall see. I really hope it isn't the case. But Kinski, yeah, I think the opposite. Not that he's going to be the most improved. I think he's going to surprise people in a pleasant way. The way the mental attributes that guy has displayed after the Atletico Madrid game, he is shown in character and mental strength the most of the first team last season, in all honesty. Mexico 9-0, fuck off. Mate, if it was that, Jesus Christ, the England players and Tuchel best not come back to England for a little while. Maybe stay in Mexico or go have your holidays, but don't come back home. Doing good, brother. Nice to see you, mate. I'm in the best place I've been for a long, long time, and it's always good to see you, geezer. It really is. 2-2. Don't say that. I know we won against Colombia. Don't. I never want to see England in penalties. I never want to see. Do you know what? I wouldn't want to see England play in a penalty shootout against a team with players with only one leg and on their crutches. It would scare the shit out of me. England and penalties in major competitions. England's winning that I could see. But one thing is, do you know what? If this wasn't Mexico, I would favour England. Wherever it was, in America, in Canada, wherever it had been, those fans are so passionate, so intimidating. It could be too much. That could be. Yeah, there's a good shout. There's a very good shout. 2-1 Mexico. If it finishes it, okay. I've got a feeling extra time could be. It could be. Nearly all, mate. There could be, mate. It doesn't matter. Winning is winning. Yes, in domestic, it means more in qualifying and actual tournaments. If we went back and saw, I'm going to check this. So, what is England's men's football team's record for the last 90 games at Wembley. Wembley. Tell me in win, lose, draw, lose. Okay, let's have a look. It's just thinking. 63 in the last 90. And remember, Mexico has the same with CONCACAF, Copa America qualification and blah, blah, blah. World Cup qualifications. Oh, fuck's sake. Mexico have lost 2 or 3 in the last 90. The last 90 games at Wembley of all competitions, 63 wins, 16 draws, 11 losses. So they have a much, 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 much better record than us. So I think that that goes that puts shade on that one, Steve, bro. How good would it be when Villa finish ahead of us next season? After all the done, mate. Look, who knows? Who knows what happens? We'll see at the end of the season. But if they lose Rodgers, if they lose, we'll see. But I just want us to get back in the top 8. I just want us back in the top 8. And everyone's going on. I don't know how people feel about this, but people will know my love for the FA Cup. My absolute. I will never. That cup will never lose its magic for me. Ever, 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 ever lose its magic for me. If someone said get the top 4, let's see what you guys say. Spurs get top 4, or Spurs finish in the top 8 and win the FA Cup. Which one are you taking? I'm telling you now, I'm taking the top 8 in the FA Cup all day long. To bring that trophy back home, that used to be the Tottenham trophy. I cannot. I want that FA Cup so badly. So, where would you go? Top 8 in FA Cup, or would you go top 4? Well, yeah, that's true. That's true, but you never know. I wouldn't say you have the best. You've got one of the best goalkeepers in the world at the moment. Who would I say is the best? Actually, I'm not getting into that conversation just in case. No, I'd have Martinez over Raya. I think and they're both filth. I think Martinez is absolutely exceptional. I think he's exceptional. I'm just trying to think of other goalkeepers now. I would have said Alisson, but after his season he's had, yeah, I thought it was, brother. I thought it was. Big up to you, geezer. No, it's what about oh yeah, Matt, oh, shit, the Man U fans when we're talking about Newcastle and Villa, the United fan, Goldbridge is just. But Joe, what I will say there is an Aston Villa fan on Twitter. I can't remember his handle, and he's like, why are these Villa fans moaning? Why are they bitching? It's blatantly obvious why Spurs could do this. We may not like it because they're going to spend big and try to get back to where they were. But this guy was like, I totally get it. They've been waiting to do this, and they should have been doing it. So there are a few Villa fans and United fans, but the majority of them. I mean, Newcastle have lost Gordon. If that lot down the road get Bruno Guimaraes outside of Spurs and Morgan Gibbs-White, Bruno is my favourite midfielder in the Premier League. I think he is exceptional. If Arsenal got him, it would hurt me. But Morgan Gibbs-White is probably my favourite midfielder. Spurs obviously got Tonali and Fernandes now, but outside of Tottenham, Morgan Gibbs-White is like there, and then Bruno is here. I don't know if people have clocked it, but I've got quite a love affair of Morgan Gibbs-White. Gray, mate, listen, I hear you speak about Archie Gray. I am so the total opposite of where you are. I really am. And I don't like really talking about Archie Gray just because if you say his name 3 times, And I've never known a player that straight away you mention his name and it just takes over the show. I think Archie Gray could be a real talent. That's all I say on it. I've just said his name 3 times, so let's move on. You know my feelings on Tell. I wouldn't say I don't think he's brilliant. I don't think he's great. I think he could do something, but if we could sell him, out the door immediately. 100%. Would I celebrate if Saka or Rice got 100%? 100%. I'm not one of these fans that literally, like I saw with AFTV, if Kane scored, I won't celebrate. Notice how you left out Eze there. I see what you did there because of Eze and a certain miss, channeling his inner Diana Ross 1994. Saka or Rice or any Arsenal player scores for England, I celebrate. I celebrate. If England had to have a penalty missed, like life or death situation, would I always excuse me, would I always wish there was an Arsenal fan Arsenal player that missed it? You better believe it. But I wouldn't want them to miss it. In fact, you go back to the Euros where we lost to Italy in England. I was actually disgusted. Not going to talk about the fans and what happened afterwards, because that was just vile and just typical. I was fuming that people like Raheem Sterling and the senior players allowed Saka to take it. But I wanted him to score that penalty, and if he takes a penalty for England in a penalty shootout, absolutely I want him to score. And absolutely I would celebrate. But don't get me wrong. When Teddy Sheringham used to take penalties for... Sorry, I might have to cut it. I think my voice is going. And I can't start risking my voice going with my new job. But yeah, I whenever Teddy Sheringham... let me rephrase that. When Eric Dyer went to take that penalty against Colombia, I was shitting myself. Not because, oh my God, it's Eric Dyer, what the fuck? I never want it to be the Spurs player that misses the penalty that sends England home or causes England to then get knocked out. But every single player that plays for England, even as a Chelsea player, whoever it is, when you're wearing the 3 Lions, yes, you're a filth player, but you're an England player. So 100% I would celebrate. I do think how Mexico play does suit England. They're going to sit back, which could help. It's going to. I think the crowd has got a massive. I know what the Mexican fans are like. It is going to be bonkers in that stadium. Yeah, mate. Complete Angus. Stop talking sense. Stop talking sense. There's no hijack. There's no hijack, brother. There's no hijack. I can assure you of that. Make of that what you will. I can guarantee you, Sandro Tonali is a Tottenham player. Mate, where have you been? Big up to you, Aleuno. I hope you're all good and well, brother. Always good seeing you in here. You could be. You could be. We'll see. We'll see. If we sort out our front 5 now with the next lot coming in, I can see us. We'll see what the front line is. I'm going 8th. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see what people say. But would you go for top 8 of the Carabao Cup? Yes. I want to try. If people remember, Jose Mourinho, when he was at Chelsea the first time, always said he always went for the Carabao Cup. And his mentality was you get that winning trophy in their locker, the thirst for it, and the belief that you can do it elevates you. I would take the Carabao Cup at 8th or top 8. Because when you say top 8, I didn't say exactly 8th. I was like, get in the top 8. I'll take the Carabao Cup at 8th. Everyone will go, no, we need Champions League money. I get that argument. What Spurs need more than top 4 and getting into the Champions League. I'm talking footballing. Forget financial. I think getting a trophy over the line. Don't get me wrong. FA Cup every single day of the week. I grew up in an era where the FA Cup was everything, and so did you, and so did you, and so did many people. FA Cup all day for me as well. Oh yeah, Courtois, Donnarumma. There you go. You're talking about the keepers. At least with an FA Cup, we still get Europa League. Exactly. In general, Raya. Well, I'll bring this one out. In general, I'd rather Raya because he gives me. Raya can pull off impeccable saves, and his distribution is very good. But he has a flapping in, just like Donnarumma did towards the end of the season. But I would have Donnarumma over Raya every day of the week. And that's not because of where he is. I wanted Raya instead of Vicario, as everyone knows, and wish we'd actually done it now. But I would have Donnarumma. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Happy 4th of July, Brian. Big up, Joey boy. And if not that I heard, but we had ours July the 1st, Canada Day. But there should have been fireworks because 4th of July is the day I got my mitzvah 34 years ago. So always a special day for me. And the day after, this is how old people are going to feel old now. First of all, I feel very, very old that Erik Thorstvedt's son is playing for Norway in the World Cup. But on the day after my birthday, when I had the party, Andre Agassi won Wimbledon. And do you remember, people, when Andre Agassi burst onto the scene, like Mika Richards, like the revelation of tennis? I loved that man. And I think he's a top man whenever you see him in interviews. But yeah, Agassi won Wimbledon 34 years ago tomorrow. Would you sell Bergvall? I'd sell both. If I had to keep one, I'd keep in Bentancur. I'm keeping Bentancur. Listen, like we've done with Vuskovic, if you can get 50 million plus for Bergvall in a heartbeat. And I've said this a couple of times now. I've got to make sure I say this very, very carefully and very, very clearly, slowly, and listen. Johan Lang, I want him gone. I want him out. I think he's useless at buying talents for the first team. I really do. But we all heard he had this way with youth and he could get good young players in. If we do sell Bergvall for 50 plus, we have got from £26 million outlay around that. Maybe let's call it 30 just to round shit up. I know Vuskovic was 12 million. If we sell Bergvall, that's over £100 million in those two players, and one of them hasn't kicked a competitive ball for us. And obviously, if Kinski goes on to be the keeper, I think he's going to be. I still want him gone. Don't get me wrong. I still want him out the door, and I'd love Dougie Freeman or a top if we're going this way, director of football in. But like I've said, if I'm man enough to criticise, I've got to be man enough to say, do you know what? Like I said, want him gone, want him out. But that will be great business on the football, on the transfer side. And for that, I'll say, do you know what? You've identified two players that did exactly what Chelsea, Man City, and all these others do with their youth academy. Get them in or train them and then sell them for big money. But that's just two players. The rest of them, the youngsters, apart from Gray, did he get Gray? Did he get Gray? Or did we sign Gray? And then whatever. But no, he did not. Mate, that no. I'm not getting involved in this. I'm not doing this. So mate, Konsa is a Spurs. I think Konsa's a good defender. I think the whole England defence have been absolutely shambolic, and the midfield, apart from Bellingham. Gordon did well when he came on. Again, I think Tuchel's the right manager in the way that he loves tournament football and he knows how to grind out results, albeit by boring football. But I think how he hasn't taken Morgan Gibbs-White, and I'm not just saying that because of my affiliation or love for him, he's exactly what we've been missing. And how he didn't take Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's made some bad decisions, but if anyone can get us to a final, it's him, and I don't care. So there you go. Mate, see, fair play. I would choose, yeah. Oh dear. I didn't see we had a super chat from Steve. Thank you. She sent me a message, and I sent her one back. So all good. I hope she's good and well, and your dad and all your family, Steve. You're a top man. You're a top man. Where were we? I would certainly celebrate if Aguna scored a Nolan's. What the hell is a Nolan's? I'm hoping that. What the hell is a no? Am I going mad? I would certainly celebrate if Aguna scored a Nolan's. I'm hoping. Yeah. If Spence plays another minute, back on the spot. Top 8 is the next step. That's right, there you go. I was about to say, what the fuck is a Nolan's? I was like, wait a minute, Desmond's is 2-2. Like, it's Nolan's an own goal. I was trying to work out what the hell you were saying. That makes a lot more sense, brother. No, we're finishing the top half this season. There's no doubt about that. But I get what you're saying. After 2 17th positions, top 10 will be an achievement. Not by the standards the transfer market resembles, but we got. I liken this to when Martin Yole came. When before Yole took over, we were just, let's get mid-table, hopefully beat you lot and have a cup run. But then Yole came and European football became a thing. And then obviously we started going, and now we've crashed. And now we're building again. But I tell you what, if we're building again like we did with Yole, there's stronger foundations put in with the talent we've bought. So we shall see. We can't spend money. We can't spend the money. We have only finished it. Yes, we can. But also, you got to remember, there's like 8-9 teams in Europe that are playing twice a week, and I'm not using the twice a week as in go for the Premier League. And a lot of people are saying use that to climb, which I get. I'm saying use one game a week to take both cups damn fucking seriously. You can rotate with the strength we've got, but field a core of first team regulars. Good night, bro. I was like a month old. Jesus Christ. The whole making me feel old. When we won the FA Cup, I was 12 years old. Mate, I feel so old at times. Give me the FA Cup all day, mate. Honestly, the FA Cup is just magical. 5th of July. Oh, don't do that to me. Of that team, of all things. I hope he goes back to Preston on loan. I really do. I think with what we're doing right now, I always said Alfie Devine will make it at Tottenham, or blind hope, faith, belief, whatever. With what we've assembled and the midfielders we've got this season, he ain't going to get a look in. So I hope he goes back to Preston, because Preston looked after him blithely, and I will follow Preston all season. And I really enjoyed watching them last season, and their fans that I interact with on Twitter are fantastic. But it's a massive season for him. Yeah, I agree, Kudos. I agree. Let's have it. Actually, wouldn't mind an Alfie Devine loan to West Ham as well. Yeah, Ethan, but I want him to go back to Preston or somewhere like a Southampton, a Middlesbrough, someone that will genuinely challenge. Now, if Preston get their buyout all confirmed and they start doing what they do, Preston, who were in the playoffs till about February, March, then they dropped and went down to about 14th, and then they started winning again. Alfie, like Lancashire, I want them both at genuine title contending championship teams, or at least certain playoff. Mate, he plays so much better at right back than anyone we've had. Rice, Kane, and Bellingham is basically the England team. Yup. I wouldn't disagree with that at all. I agree with you on MG. Trent, Joe, I love Trent Alexander-Arnold. I used to play a game every season with a few mates where once the window shut, we said, what player would you take from a team to make your team better, like in a desired position that you need? And every time we get to Liverpool, I always used to say Trent. Always. Because then I'd have him playing more midfield, or Porro playing a little bit further advanced, or there is two quality players to. I think Trent is brilliant. Wayhay on FM on okay. Let's have a look what else we got, because I might start wrapping up. I was 6 when we won the. Jesus Christ. I was 6. What is going on? What is going on? I watched it with my grandma, grandpa, God bless them both, and my mum and my sister. I remember it like it was yesterday. But on that note, guys, and after 2 hours, 52 minutes, I am going to wrap it up because I'm exhausted. Now, there could be a late night Lilywhite tomorrow, dependent on a few things. First of all, Eric, Mourinho with Trent. That's either going to be a car crash or Hollywood movie. I don't know if I'm going to the Yard or not. It's more than likely I'm not. And if I do go to the Yard, the game starts at 8. If it goes to extra time, that's 11. Penalties, blah, blah, blah. Late Night Lilywhite wouldn't start till gone midnight. If I do stay at home and watch it, which I do think is much more likely, because I was meant to spend some time with Alana after the Canada game, and I said, listen, I need to get some sleep. My body clock is telling me to sleep. I got 2 hours. I said, give me 2 hours. And at 2.25 hours, I said, I'm not getting out of bed. Give me till 8:30 or 7:30. And then we've got an hour and a half before this show. She came, wake me up at 7:30. I said, wake me up at 8:30. So I think I'm going to be spending a lot of time with Alana tomorrow. Then it all depends on England winning, because if England lose, actually, win or lose, God knows, I could be, let's all go nuts about that result, or let's be over the moon about that result. So 50-50 that there will be a late night Lilywhite tomorrow. I just wanted to do today just to make sure we did one. But like I said, I don't know if people were still here. There are still people here right from the beginning. And thanks for spending best part of 3 hours of just listening to me waffle. Like I said, I do try to make this as interactive as possible. I do want to start bringing guests on, and we will do during the season and transfer window. But my shift now is get split. So I get 2 days off, and this time it's tomorrow and Thursday. So there is going to be a late night Lilywhite on Thursday. The week after that, after I go back to work Thursday, I'm working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I've got Wednesday, Thursday off. So we can have 2 back-to-back Lilywhites. So we shall see. Bloody hell, that was all about maybe there'll be a Lilywhite tomorrow or not. But I will say, everyone, thank you for joining in and being part of the show. Much love to you all. Much love for the super chats. Much love for you. Any comments? Love you all dearly. Enjoy your Sunday. Come on, England. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, come on, you bloody Spurs / England. Oh, by the way, one final thing. When I sing the national anthem now, it's God Save the Cane. So join me tomorrow in God Save Our Gracious Cane. Long live our noble Cane. God save our Cane. Da, 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 da. Tottenham Hotspur.